Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. How are y'all doing today? Obviously, it is your boy Pride, joined by Coach Dante, Greg, Trey, and little sis. Even though she's older than me, don't know why I still call her little sis, but still, little sis. How's everyone doing today?
What's good? What's good? What's good?
Doing good. Doing well.
Good morning.
Yeah. We would have started earlier. That's on me. Your boy was going through some stuff, so I kind of didn't really get on until late. So if y'all want to yell at someone for being late, y'all can yell at me. I'll wear it this one time because
Damn you, Pride. No, I'm just kidding.
We got a good show packed for y'all. We're gonna talk about the Thursday night football game where Pittsburgh should get fucking obliterated. We're gonna talk about a little bit going back in time, but first and foremost, Steph Curry is goddamn. Someone said something about his family. Kid has been on man. Because if I call him a kid again, he'll beat me up. He's been on a complete and utter tear. Only 10 more threes away from making history. I believe he'll be passing Ray Allen for all-time threes made. Which, goddamn, that's wild. The next game, they just played. I think it was Portland, and he had 6. The next game is Saturday against the 76ers, and it's at Philly. Coach, let me ask you, you think Steph gets 10 against the 76ers?
I think he can attempt. He will attempt 10. He will attempt it, but I don't think he would hit 10 3-pointers. But he's the type of guy that you never know with Steph Curry. He can hit 10 of them, but I guarantee you he's going to really actually probably try to do it, but I don't think he will hit it that game. I think the following game he's going to break this record. So I definitely think he's going to break it by the end of this weekend, but not against Philly. I think he's going to hit by like 6 threes, 5, 6 more, or 7, possibly 8 threes. But like this, at the end of this week, he's going to get it. He's going to get the record. He's going to have it.
So in terms of the 76ers, you don't see him breaking it, but you see him getting real close to the point that, like, against the Pacers, which would be the next game on Monday, would be the Pacers. Greg, do you feel the same? Do you think it'll be quicker? You think it'll be longer? How do you feel about it?
I will agree with Coach. I think it's going to be the next game. I can see Steph getting 5, maybe 6 on the Sixers. But I don't think he'll make 10. If he does, then wow. But yeah, I think it'll be the next game where he breaks the record. And who would have thought that Ray Allen record will be getting broke? Honestly, because when that record happened, I was thinking, man, this record gonna last for a long time. And now here it is, not that much after that. Here is Steph breaking Ray Allen's record. So amazing career, Hall of Fame career by Steph. So, but yeah, next game he'll that's when he'll break it.
Oh, so you haven't breaking it against the 76ers?
No.
Oh, the game after that. Oh, the game after that. Okay. All right, the Pacers. Okay. All right, Trey. Steph Curry has this weird ability to get absolute. By the way, Damon, I hate you with a passion. Steph has this weird ability to go nuclear, right? Do you think that in order to get those 10 threes, he's going to have to go nuclear against the 76ers?
Nah, man. We talk about the chef, man. So you're gonna have to let him cook. He's it's gonna come whatever it's gonna come naturally to him. He's got to this point because he's done what's natural. Yes, he's went nuclear, supernova, wherever you want to put out there. Shout out to all the science buffs out there. But you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things where he does what he does. So it's not gonna even have to be a nuclear. He's just gonna do what he usually does. I foresee he's probably gonna let the chef cook. He's gonna get in the kitchen, whip up this 5-course meal, and he's gonna finish that record his next game.
So, sis, let me ask you something.
Yes.
And maybe it's just me. I want to look at it as a different way. Davey says, I feel the love already. Does Steph really need this record? Because we were calling him the greatest shooter before this. So do you think he really needs this record at all?
Absolutely not. I think, like you said, irregardless, we've called him the greatest shooter of all time. But before he was even close to the record, like, you got to understand, like, he just now started to, even scratch the surface of where people are starting to keep track of it. But before then, people were already starting to call him the greatest shooter of all time. So he doesn't really need this record. I mean, Steph has changed the game as far as how offense is played. Everybody is shooting distance threes now because you have to. That's just the offense of the NBA, and Steph Curry is the catalyst for that. I think he goes off against Philly. I think because I think it may have been Coach who said that Steph has been playing on a mission right now, and I think that has a big factor on how he's gonna go about it against Philly. Like, he's a man on a mission right now. He can get 10 threes easy. He's done it before. Like, this is not something that's difficult for him. And I think also the Warriors his teammates are gonna try to get him that 10. Like, he's gonna have opportunities to at least get that 10 just off the strength of his teammates alone. So I think he gets it. I mean, obviously, if he doesn't get it against Philly, he'll get it against the Pacers, but he's definitely going to go for it.
Yeah. And I honestly, I feel like, for Steph, just go for it. He probably doesn't really care about it now. But this is the type of stuff that, like, when you're long and gone and people, they aren't able to watch you, this is something you can go back and say, yo, look.
This is legacy, like, yeah.
Mrs. CEO said Curry's going to push the record with like 300 plus more over Ray Allen. And I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to tell you this right now. The gap that Steph Curry could potentially leave in front of him and Ray Allen is going to be ridiculous.
And you got to think of it this way too, Pride, and not to cut you off, but he's done it in like 1,000-something less games.
Yes. Yep,
like honestly, that's the craziest part about this whole record thing to me is the fact that he's done this in like 700-something games.
That's how you know.
And that is insane. Like, do you not you have to have a 30 clip on you at all times?
Right.
To be like in, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a sniper. Right. You're a legit sniper if you can do that in 700 and something games. Like, are you crazy?
And what's funny is what even makes it even more interesting is just like Alana was saying, like, he's basically made to where that's what goes on now. Like, he's the catalyst for long distance threes, which means he's creating the next set of players that are going to be after his record, after he obliterates Ray Allen's record. So it's just one of those things. It might take longer, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, of course, his craft is what he did, but he's basically created the rest of the blueprint for the next players that's going to be after his record next.
And it's kind of funny because Raider said Curry's a different. I'm assuming he meant beast. It's a different beast from anything I've ever seen before, and offensively, and especially at the three, Steph Curry is wild. It's just nuts to me how when he shoots threes the way I would shoot it at the local gym. You good, Raider, trust me, I know what you meant. But in the in-game, he shoots threes the way I shoot it if I'm on a court by myself. Mad nonchalant, just throwing it up there. And that's what Steph does. Difference is he makes them. Like I've never seen a dude literally like the bottom part of his body changes so much. Sometimes he'll split his legs, he'll land like it. You know, I'll be honest. This kid in terms of shooting, the kid is a wizard. Damien with a question. I'm pretty sure it's a true question, but it is a question I've heard other people say. I'm gonna start with you, Coach. If once Steph breaks the record, does it put him over and makes him better than LeBron? Go ahead, Coach.
No.
What?
No, not at all. LeBron James is the best player in our generation. Just because he break the all-time threes record doesn't put him over LeBron. No, nowhere near close. Nowhere near close better than LeBron. But like I said again, Stephen Curry is the greatest shooter of all time that I ever seen play the game of basketball. Uh, he's the reason why Damian Lillard shoots threes from the logo now. Steph Curry is the reason why the long range three and people shooting from the logos. Stephen Curry invented that. So again, LeBron James is an all around player, all around playmaker. LeBron James even got a shot now. When his first rookie year, and even in Miami, early stage in Miami, people used to sag off him and make him shoot. Now you can't so much do that. But no, Steph Curry, this would not put Steph Curry over LeBron James, not at all. Not the most dominant player in this generation. Now, you may want to put Kevin Durant on him or Giannis, but as long as LeBron James in this league, he will be the greatest player in this era, and he will be the number one player in this generation as long as he exists in this league.
Greg, kind of just another variation of this question. Somebody said nowhere close though, so let me ask you: do you think Steph would be better than LeBron and you would put him over LeBron if he breaks the record, and then B, if he's not, do you think he's close?
Okay. As much as I'm a Braun hater and I want to say yeah, I'm gonna say no.
Smart
He's
choice.
not gonna be better than Braun, but he's not gonna be better than Braun. But he is the only one of the only players to beat Braun in multiple finals. So he does. If you want to say, well, he has a case or something, then yeah. But close. Maybe, kinda. I do think when Steph's career is said and done, he'll have a better case for being a top 10 player in NBA history than, but that's what I think. I think when it's said and done, Steph will have a case more for being a top 10 player than actually being better than Braun. I think Braun will always be kind of over him.
Okay.
Even though he's beat him in the finals, he's still gonna be over Steph. I do agree with Coach. LeBron is the greatest player of his time. So that's also another factor. So
just real quick before I pass on to the next person. If Curry finished with 7 championships, he would be in the GOAT talk. You're right. If he would finish with 7 championships, he'd be in the GOAT talk. 100%. If I had a vagina, I'd be a woman. But I don't, so I'm not. He doesn't, so he's not. That's just how I look at it. I don't usually do the whole ifs thing, because once you start doing the ifs things, that's a slippery slope. That's a whole.
I mean, again, championships. One thing people got to realize: championships doesn't define if you're better than that player or not. Championships just doesn't define that. You can say Robert Horry is better than Michael Jordan.
Come on now, talk that talk, Coach.
That's what I'm saying. You can say Robert Horry has 7 championships in the NBA. So just because Stephen Curry will have 7 championships, that don't mean he'll be better than Michael Jordan. That don't mean he'll be better than LeBron. That doesn't.
It also depends on how you get those rings.
It
depends how you get those rings too. Because if you just if you doing what Shaq did towards the end of his career, where he was a journeyman and just chasing a ring, like
I mean,
the end of his career wouldn't have mattered.
Olajuwon was better than Shaquille O'Neal. The only thing Shaquille O'Neal did play with Kobe. Olajuwon didn't play with a superstar. He did not play with another superstar. He played with role players and he made them better. And then Kevin Durant got his only ring because of what? He went to the Golden State Warriors. He went on a stacked team. If he went anywhere else, I wouldn't say Kevin Durant ring chase if he went anywhere else. But I can say ring chase because he went to the team that actually beat him. And before that, he couldn't beat LeBron James head to head before that championship. So again, Kevin Durant got his one championship because he went to the Golden State Warriors, a team that he was up 3-1 against, and took away his own series lead and went to a easier route. And LeBron possibly would have had another championship with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love was not hurt. He probably would have beat Golden State probably the very first time. So again, championships doesn't really define how great of a player is. If he has 7, if Stephen Curry was to get 7 championships, he would not be better than Jordan. He would not be better than LeBron James. That's the discussion. But he will be a top 10 greatest player of all time. However you would put it, I just had to put that out there.
Coach, if you had a collection plate, I'd drop a 20 in it right now.
Just real quick, sis. Do you think that Steph at the end of his career can be a top 10 player all time?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay, a top 10 player, absolutely. Like there without a doubt, Stephen Curry is a top 10 player right now, in my opinion. Like I don't think we have to wait.
No, we're talking about all time, sis. We're talking about all time.
All time.
Yeah, we're talking about all time.
All time. Yes, in the totality of his career, yes, I do think that he has the potential to be a top 10 player if he is able to stay healthy and keep on the trajectory that he's on right now. Then absolutely, he definitely has the potential to be a top 10. But to answer the question, that is the most blasphemous thing I've ever heard in my life. Like let's and I think I spoke about this yesterday on Just Say the Truth. Like we have to understand when it comes to Stephen Curry, like granted, he is the greatest shooter of all time. I will say that until I can't say it no more because I mean anybody would be foolish to say otherwise. Like we've never seen anybody shoot the ball the way that he shoots it, and just like you said, Pride, I mean, he can shoot it either way. The landing doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's half court, over half court, what side of the 3-point line, like from the stands, like it doesn't matter. He just can shoot the ball. Like that's just what he was created to do, was shoot the basketball. But when we talk about greatest player, there's more to being a player than just being able to do one thing extremely well. Steph does one thing extremely well, better than anybody else. Brian does multiple things extremely well, better than anybody else. So that's the separation. Like it is what it is. Like Steph is great in his own right. I will never take that away from him. But if we're talking greatest player, there's 3 people that have to be in that conversation. And probably you may disagree, but it's Kobe, Jordan, and Bron. That's it. Like those are the 3 otherworldly, like just different level, all around complete basketball players, no weakness in their games. Those are the 3 guys. That's it. I'm sorry, Stephen Curry doesn't crack that for me. Like I said, he is the greatest shooter I have ever seen with my own 2 eyes. I will never take that away from him. He will be a top 10 player when it's all said and done. I will never take that away from him either. But to be over Bron, stop it. Like we got to stop being the prisoners of the moment. And that's what happens with the media and with the fans, is that a player will go on a run, or they'll just do something that we've never seen, and all of a sudden it's, oh, he's the closest thing to Michael Jordan. Oh, he's over LeBron, or he might be better than. No, he's not. Let's be realistic. No, he's not.
I just don't understand all this hate for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I don't get it. By the way, Raider, I do understand what you're saying. The object is to score points. I do get it.
And it definitely is. And he sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but the problem is the objective of the game isn't to have one person score. Like LeBron, in my opinion, I believe LeBron can score whenever he wants. He can get other people to score whenever he wants. He can get them. I don't know. Me personally, I don't think Steph was ever on Bron's level. As a shooter, he's the greatest, and I'm not going to take that from him. Outside of that, there's more to the game, and to me, Steph doesn't check out all the boxes. So in order to put him over LeBron, that's either you just hate LeBron, or you're just being like, you're desperate to just give that award to anybody but Bron.
Right? It's as simple as this. LeBron can play from 1 through 5. Can Steph play 1 through 5?
He can't even play the 2. Let's call it what it is.
Let's call it what it is. End of argument. End of argument.
I'm talking about offense and defense, though. I'm talking about offense and defense.
I'm talking about both too. I'm talking about both
too. Offensively, he could play the 1 and the 2. Offensively. Defensively, he can't. And if you don't believe me, go ask his own head coach, who won't put him up against Damian Lillard. who won't put him up against Russell Westbrook. They had Clay doing that.
I've never seen
Yeah, Clay
LeBron get
doing
subbed out because he was a defensive liability. I have saw that from Steph multiple times.
So that's all I'm saying. People want to say, "Oh yeah, the steals." Go put them on ball. Let me know how confident you feel in them. That's all I'm saying. Trey, real quick, let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
What do you think is more likely, for Steph to be better than LeBron, or for him to finish as a top 10 player all time?
Of course, it's going to be the top 10 player of all time.
Yep.
It basically comes down to, for the most part, the conversation which you have is just subjective to the individual having the conversation. At the end of the day, you have to take a look at and recognize overall, like I was basically talking about. He's not like Lana was just saying. He's been a defensive liability, so that goes to show that he's not locked down. He's not going to be. He doesn't check the block for what's needed at that particular time. When you talk about the Kobe's, the Jordans, even LeBron, who can guard 1 through 5, that's what it is. So you have to take that in consideration. But at the end of that, once it's all said and done, he's definitely going to be a top 10, if not higher, in my opinion.
Yeah, and again,
Agreed.
this isn't, because the thing is, this isn't to downplay Steph, because again, Steph, he's a hell of a player. He really is, right? The problem that I have was that LeBron is just extremely hated, right? And it's like they desperately just want someone else to be better than him. And now the reason that's kind of a bad thing is if someone is just the best, right, and you're forcing someone else to try to be the best without them actually being it, it makes that player almost look bad. It almost makes it look like they almost look worse than what they are. Like almost, like, because people are just so desperate. And it's just like for instance, I've spoken to some people who think Steph is better, right? And I go, okay, that's fine. Let's talk about it. I'm willing to have a conversation. They would not get over shooting. Like shooting is the only thing
because that's the only thing they have.
Exactly. Shooting is the only thing they have. And I was like, yep. And again, I would concede that point because again, Steph Curry is one of the greatest shooters of all time. You know what I mean? I think it's me personally, I think 1 and 2 is Clay and Steph.
Yeah, I would.
I think those are the top two. Interchange them however you want, but those are 1 and 2. And I guess Ray Allen's fighting for third. Maybe Reggie Miller. You know, you know what I mean? That's just how I look at it, right?
Well, that would at least be top 5. That would at least be top 5.
The only reason I look at Michael Jordan different because he played in a tough-nosed basketball era. When you can be physical, you can hand check. You don't have 3 seconds, so you can sit in the paint all day long. They made a whole rule for this guy. And then, like I say, just because Scottie Pippen guarded the best player doesn't mean Michael Jordan wasn't one of the best defender. Michael Jordan was a 9-time all defensive player. That's more than Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen has 8, Michael has 9. Michael is a 3-time steals champion, so it's more than anything in basketball is a scoring. It's just scoring. How you impact on both sides of the floor. LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and Kobe Bryant definitely did that. They definitely did that, impacted the game on both sides, not just offensively. They just impacted the game on both sides of the floor. When you need a big stop, Michael Jordan got that big stop. When you need a big stop, LeBron got a big stop. Kobe got a big stop. When you needed a big shot, all 3 of them got into it. Now, LeBron doesn't make probably doesn't make the big plays, but he makes the right passes at the right time. He makes the right plays, regardless if a guy's wide open. You don't have to force anything. You just make the right plays. And like I say again, LeBron James is an awesome passer. He's an unstoppable force, and Kobe was too. I value Kobe as the second coming of Michael Jordan. Just plays just like him. His game is similar to Michael Jordan. He's the closest thing to Michael Jordan in that era. And LeBron James is up there with all of those 3. So the only thing I take away for this, Michael Jordan just played in the toughest era against the toughest teams. He got Bolden. He gets Bolden in the face day in, night out. And they were purposely doing it. He played when it was physical back in the day. So I guess that's why I give Michael Jordan that much credit because, again, Michael Jordan, he was a winner. But if y'all going to say champions, if y'all going to put championships before you got to look at the talent level. You got to look at the talent level. Those players in that era were just as much as athletic as well. So again, just because Steph Curry gets not 7 rings doesn't mean he will be better than Michael Jordan. Doesn't mean he'll be better than Kobe. Doesn't mean he will be better than LeBron at all, because Curry can dribble a little bit. He can play make, but he impacts the game on one thing, just shooting the ball. These 3 guys impact the game on everything defensively. They were very good passers too. They're because they were averaging 8 assists. That doesn't mean they weren't great passers. They were great defenders as well. So it's more than scoring. Scoring is not everything. Scoring is not everything. They impact, all 3 of them guys impact the game the best way. And that's why I love watching these guys play, because these guys make their team better, and players always want to go play with these guys. They just impacted the game way more. Steph is going to be a top 10 player of all time, but he would not be up there with those 3.
Agreed.
I just want to say one thing. We don't need Steph to guard Dame when we have Clay and Dre. So you're telling me it is appropriate for, quote, your best player on your team in the finals to be guarding J.R. Smith? If you're going to sit there and tell me that that's appropriate and you still want to say he's better than LeBron, I don't know what to say.
Don't let that have been Brian guarding somebody else.
That's really, yeah, man. Like, that's kind of why I look at it. And Michelle, you're right. The new generation is going to give Curry that title. They're going to, right? This is the same generation.
Some of them never seen Michael Jordan, Kobe.
But Mike,
they never seen. It's some of them that don't. It's some of them that haven't even seen Bron's prime.
And that's
like that's the thing. That's some of these kids was born after his prime. Like what? Go ahead.
Right, but here's the thing. Oh, by the way, he won the skills competition his rookie year. Name me one time. Who
cares? That's All-Star weekend.
That is the equivalent.
Who cares?
That is the equivalent.
Patrick Beverly won.
That is the equivalent.
Honestly and truly, if I got in shape, hell, I could win the skills competition.
Patrick Beverly won it. Patrick Beverly won the skills competition. Right. Who cares?
Man, if you don't get the hell out of here, that's a field day competition.
That's my boy Ray to Earn, but I had to let you know Ray to Earn had to teach you a lesson. Who cares? Patrick Beverly won.
And before that, and I'm just saying one thing. You know who else won it? Marco Bellinelli won the 3-point contest. Does that mean he's one of the greatest shooters of all time?
But look at
Eric Gordon won the 3-point contest. Eric Gordon won.
Bruh.
James Jones won it once.
It's a bunch of field
but
day
he was in Miami. He won it once. And if I'm mistaken, he was up the fucking rotation the next year.
Man, listen to me. All the all-star skills competitions outside of the dunk contest is field day competitions. If you ever had field day in middle school, it's the same thing. You're just doing a bunch of random shit to see who is the best at a certain time at the random shit. That's all it is. So please don't put that in an argument, because that just honestly, that null and void your argument. If you really gonna be like, oh, he won the skills competition. Like what?
And again, but here's the thing, Raider. I just want to let you know, right? If you want to say Steph can play make, right, or any of that stuff, that's fine. I'm willing to hear you out, right?
He's not. You know what?
He's not on the level of LeBron James. That's
He's
just my thing. And by the way, somebody said, let me pull that comment up real quick. They said this new generation is going to give Curry that title, right? This is the same generation that ate Tide Pods. So are we sure we want to listen to anything these kids say?
And pride, they was in grocery stores looking at ice cream. I'm just saying.
Like let's keep it a stack, bro. If we go talk about this new generation, we gotta understand something, bro. They're dumber than me in kindergarten. And the reason I almost failed kindergarten was because I didn't know English. Swear to God, I didn't know a lick of English, so I was sitting there like a mute dumb fuck.
So what y'all? Well, we can't smash the generation because they're going to say Steph Curry is this person.
We absolutely can.
No, but I'm not smashing them because they're saying that. I'm just saying we need to be careful what they say, because listen, before they could even spell Steph, before they knew Curry was also a food, they're already eating Tide Pods and eating sand. That's all I'm saying. We just got to give it good context. That's all I'm saying.
And on top of that, it's like, you know what I'm saying? When you say, as me as being a LeBron fan, like, you know what I'm saying?
And that's what I was about to say.
LeBron
that's exactly what I was about to say.
Is the GOAT, and it's like, they're like, oh, you didn't see Jordan. Like, actually, I did see it. I mean, granted, I'm only 30, but I saw enough of Jordan to know. Like, You can't say that to me. But
Because you got to take into consideration our generation smokes synthetic weed. Like it's like every generation has done to some point. So we got to take that in consideration and be like, okay,
no,
keep
for
it pushing.
real. But no,
Trey,
Steph is not a
ain't- no,
playmaker.
you
We
ain't
gotta
right
we
for
gotta
that
cut
one.
that out.
All right, that was a good one. That was funny. But we all
I feel
agree.
like
Now,
yeah.
I will say,
Go ahead, Greg.
I will say that sometimes I think Braun gets a pass in the media. Nobody ever
You better
talks
spark
about
something,
it.
Hold
Greg.
on. Here's
You
the
about to
thing, but
spark something, Greg.
Nobody ever
hold on.
talks
But here's the
about
thing.
it.
Hold on. No, Greg. I got a question. And Trey,
Yeah.
is this a conversation y'all ready to have right now? I'm asking
We
for a
can
friend.
have it.
Because if this
Amen.
Greg
Amen.
is for the spark
Amen.
something.
Amen.
No, I'm just asking.
Amen.
Is this a conversation everyone's ready to have?
We can
I've
have
been
it.
waiting for this
Because
conversation
you already know where I
all
stand
my
on.
life.
Greg, respectfully.
Yo,
Respectfully.
sis, come on,
And
sis. I'm trying to
this
be
is
unbiased, and I just hear you respectfully, and
this
I want to agree with her.
It never goes right when you start out with respectfully. Like
Facts,
It
yo,
goes.
you
It
said
goes.
respectfully.
It
Swear to God, yo.
goes.
Matter of
It
fact,
goes.
let's be nice.
But
Hold
what
on.
I'm saying is, Greg, respectfully,
Mhm.
like right now, I don't got time to dive into that. So I feel like we should save that conversation for when I got time to
I don't
dive
want to
into
die. I
that.
already know
Okay.
it's going to go out to LeBron. And,
It's gonna go left.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
I'm tired of diving into it. I'm tired of diving into it.
Oh, by the way, real quick, I
I
just want to say one thing. Let me just say one thing. And LeBron jumped team from team. They're going to hold that. Just like LeBron switching numbers, like Kobe on the Lakers. And I said it before. Loyalty in terms of the NBA, dog, it's overrated. It's overrated. You see, the same people, and I'm gonna tell you something, and then we're gonna move on. You know what I mean? Oh no, hold on. We're not acting like Steph is just another dude. We're not acting like that at all.
No,
we
he's
said shooting,
he's definitely different.
Yeah, in terms of shooting, this dude is on a whole nother level. Him and Clay are on a whole nother level, and it's just wild, right? We said this. However, comparing it to LeBron James, outside of shooting, and if you look at everything else, I'm just saying he just doesn't measure up to Bron. For instance, if I'm 7 foot and you're 6'10", you're not taller than me, but that don't make you short. You're not undersized. And that's all I'm saying. But real quick to this one. I've always felt like loyalty to a team has been overrated. Always. And I'm going to tell you why. And then after this, we're going to move on to the next topic. Same people who kill LeBron for jumping team to team are the same people who are begging Damian Lillard to demand a trade. Let me say that one more time.
Say it again.
Same people who are mad at LeBron for not staying for one team is killing Dame for his, quote, fake loyalty. Let me say it a third time, because in baseball, 3 times and you're out. So maybe if I get my point out there, people understand. The same people who say LeBron is unloyal are the same people who are saying Damian Lillard is making the wrong choice by being loyal to the Portland Trailblazers.
I would never.
And they're also the same people that celebrate Kevin Durant for going to the Warriors just because he beat LeBron.
And everybody killed Kevin. Everybody killed Kevin Durant for that.
Everybody.
I don't blame him one bit. I don't blame him for killing Kevin Durant like that.
But when the dust settled before he went to Brooklyn, it was all good and good. Everybody was like, "Oh, he's the greatest player in the world,"
because he was beating LeBron.
My thing is, let's not do that.
Yeah, my thing is, let me say this, and then Trey, I'm gonna let you say, because it looked like you wanted to say something. I'll throw it to you. The only issue I had with Kevin Durant, because I knew he was gonna leave. He was gonna leave the club. Yep. My only problem is, why would you go to a team?
Thank you.
You 3-1. That was my 3-1.
Only. You was up 3-1.
And again, and look, Trey. I know you're shaking your head and you're saying, "Oh, he had his right to go," and that's fine. He can go. That's fine. I'm just saying, you're gonna invite critics. Like, he's confused. People are criticizing him, and like, bro, you went to a team that mollywopped you. Imagine if LeBron, when he left Cleveland, he went to the Celtics. That's kind of what it was. Why would you go to a team? And mind you, there were plenty of other teams he could have went to that could have had him.
He could have went to Boston.
Contention. For example, the Spurs. The Spurs were really in on him, and had he went there with a great head coach, they had a great team. But Go ahead, Trey. Go ahead. Defend Kevin Durant on why he made the right move.
So let's LeBrant this right quick, right?
Ooh!
So take this.
Oh, here we
So
go.
let's say this, right? Take in consideration that one of the sports networks got word of ASAP in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And had all the talk, all the shit, and said whatever about ASAP in the morning or whatever case like that.
Yeah.
But came back and offered a couple of us a contract. What are you doing?
What do you mean?
What are you doing? You staying with ASAP, or are you going? Or you going to go with the network that just that said had something to say to you and trash you or had or was shit talking? Are you
They
staying?
disrespected me?
Yeah. Are you going disrespecting ASAP and what was going on in ASAP? But then they come back the next year and be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we respect you. You like your craft. Hey, we'd like to offer you a contract. Are you staying with ASAP? Let's say ASAP was paying too. Are you staying with ASAP or are you going with ESPN, Fox, or whatever case like that? What you doing?
If they were being disrespectful, I'm staying.
Okay.
Only because at the end of the day, because I feel like if I'm there, someone's gonna, if they really were disrespecting, I'm gonna be there. It's gonna be awkward, and then I'm gonna end up leaving anyway. You know what I mean? Like if they didn't say any of that, and they just popped up and was like, "Hey, come over," I'll be like, look, I'll weigh my options. I'll weigh my options, of course, but. I see the comparison you're trying to make.
What I'm saying, because I hear Lon get ready to say something as well. So what I'm basically trying to say is it's about money. Like at the end of the day, it's about money. It just so happened that this was a business transaction that was going to be lucrative to him and more than just putting dollars in his pocket. It was going to give him possibility for a championship and all that. So that's why they did this.
Yeah, Trey, in terms of the money, don't get it twisted. I'm not knocking him. You know what I mean? I'm just talking about in the basketball sense. And also the Kevin Durant sense, who literally argues with a guy on Twitter who still has a default avatar with 2 followers and literally only tweeted one thing. I can go create a new Twitter, tag Kevin Durant, and he'll respond. You know what I mean? So it's like you're opening yourself up to criticism. Then he's crying because he gets criticism. And it's like, look, man, again, in terms of money and all that stuff, I'm just talking about from a basketball perspective. You know what I mean?
It's like I said, it's on the other side of the spectrum at that point.
Yeah, but your side of the spectrum, I do see where you're coming from. You know what I mean?
So you know what I'm saying, like, okay, like true enough, it's unfortunate that it was the Warriors that bodied him before that. So of course he's going to be, no matter what. I'm very sure, without a reasonable doubt, that they could have, there's any narrative that could have been created, no matter where he went outside of staying in OKC. And truth be told, if he had stayed in OKC, he probably would have got some type of backlash from whomever saying that you can't win there, or you're not effective there, or you can't help us win. You a bum. You should have left. So he made a decision based on what he wanted to do at the end of the day.
Yeah. Go ahead, sis.
No, I was just gonna say it's just ironic to me with the whole KD situation about him going to Golden State, because a part of the reason why he left OKC, of course, was because of Russell Westbrook and because he felt like he couldn't win with him, which I don't knock him for that. I totally understand, because I feel the same way. There was too many times where Kevin Durant was standing on the side wide open and Russ was going 1-on-3. So like, I get it. But he also wanted to go to a situation where he was the man and he was like highly touted and he was like the guy. And I just don't feel like Golden State was the situation for that, because no matter what he did, he was never going to overtake Steph Curry. Because let's keep it all the way 100. Kevin Durant is the better player. We all know that. Steph knows that. But when it comes to the Warriors and just Golden State, period, like, I live in California. It is Steph Curry country. Like, there's nobody that's gonna overtake that. So I feel like in the end, I don't feel like he regrets his championship, but I feel like he maybe regrets going through that situation, because the Warriors made it subliminally and abundantly clear to him that, like, yeah, you cool, and we appreciate you for your
but you're not one of us.
But at the end of the day, it's Steph over everything. Like, this is Steph, Dre, and Clay. Like, those are the foundation. You're just an addition. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and they said that too. I can't remember which. I think it was the last.
It was the parade. It was the last parade.
The first set I think they won. The GM was just like,
no, it was the second one. It was the second parade, because it was like
parade?
You know,
the GM was like,
parade,
KD, you cool, but Steph, Clay, Draymond, they were raised here, and I'm like, And everyone's laughing. Even see Kevin Durant salty as shit. And I'm like,
Yep.
when you see KD,
And
That was a slap in the face. That was like a slap in the face. Because like I said, he made the team already won championships. He just made the team more unstoppable, impossible to
that's
beat.
all he did.
And
Like,
Draymond Green told him in the game, "We didn't need you," and they
That's
actually
what I was about to
didn't
say,
need
Coach.
him.
That's exactly what I
He
was
did
about
not.
to say.
They did not literally need
That's
Kevin
exactly
Durant
what
to
I was
win.
about to say.
And
So
here's the thing.
again, he could have
And
went to
that's the
Boston.
universal. That's
Yeah,
a universal feeling amongst the team and the fans. They all knew that they did not need Kevin Durant to win the championship. He was just an addition.
And I've been saying that when Kevin Durant was there, he was a luxury, not a necessity. All Kevin Durant did, he didn't make them better. He didn't make them, this, like in terms of them needing him. He just made the Golden State Warriors unstoppable to be
Unstoppable.
in a
That was it. He just made
series.
it impossible to beat.
That's it.
That's all he did.
Yes, he made them impossible to beat in a 7-game series. When we get to the playoffs, since we have Kevin Durant and we have, of the
Steph
top
and
5
Clay,
of the 5 players on the court, we got 3 of them at least.
He just solidified
Clay, Steph, and KD.
Steph,
and even then, at the time, you could put Draymond in there too. So
because Draymond was an all-star type player.
Right.
So that's what all-stars you got on your team, and you got 3 studs.
Right.
And
So
with
that's
an
what I'm saying.
all-star.
So possibly of the top 5, you have 3 to 4. They were like, yeah, we're definitely going to be unstoppable, But the thing I will say about Kevin Durant, you knew you're like, look, we need to stop with this whole Kevin Durant stupid. We got to stop with that myth. He knew there was a chance people were going to say that when he went. He knew. He thought he could handle it. But there's a difference between thinking you can handle something and then actually going through it.
Yep.
The differences are impalpable and unmeasurable, and you feel it. And when Kevin Durant heard that, he was so salty. But at the same time, KD, you knew this was a possibility, and you went, and you could have left.
Yeah, that was the moment. I feel like that was the moment where I felt like he decided in his mind that he wasn't going to re-sign with the Warriors after that 3rd year. Because in his face, like you said, he looked salty.
Oh, yeah.
And in his face,
No, I don't think so.
It was
I don't think so.
No, I
don't
think
think
so.
that was
Because
good.
I think so, and this is why. Because you can see in his face, he was kind of like, well, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get these extra 2 championships without me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Bron and them could have ratted off another 2 if it was just, mano a mano the way that it was in 2016. But the fact that they added him, like everybody said, it made him virtually unstoppable. So for him to get up there and say, like, oh, well, I mean, you cool or whatever, but Steph and Dre and Clay, like, at that moment, I feel like he was like, all right, you know what? Like, I'm not going to get this. I'm not going to be revered the same way that Steph, Clay, and Dre are. So I need to go somewhere where I can be the guy for real.
Yep. And Raider said it perfectly. We viewed KD as an assassin doing his job.
Draymond Green came out in the game and said, we didn't need you. And him and Steve
Exactly.
Kerr
We
had
won
multiple
before you. We won without you.
altercations
Yep.
as well. And when you could have went to Boston, you had a meeting with them. You had a meeting with San Antonio. You could have went to Miami, and you could have went to your hometown Washington Wizards in the Eastern Conference, where you could have competed with LeBron James and probably knocked them off yourself. But then again, you go to Golden State where you choked away your own 3-1 series lead. Like, the problem with me wasn't him leaving; it was just he went to Golden State.
Yes,
he knew he wasn't going to be. He knew he wasn't going to be Golden State. And then if he would have stayed in Golden, if he would have stayed in OKC, he would have had to keep dealing with the Golden State, and he couldn't. He wasn't going to get past him. That's probably what was running through his mind. So he just took the easy way to a championship, the easy path to a championship.
Yep.
It's funny that Draymond would say that when he was the one crying and begging him after they lost the 3-1 series lead.
That's the part.
He was right there.
Like, Draymond doesn't. For him to even say that, I would have slapped. Look, you was the one that called me, begging me to come.
Oh, damn.
That's how you
feel it, Greg. That's how you feel it,
Get him, Greg.
Come and asking and begging me. And then he said, we could have won with that.
That sounds like an experience, some experience or something like that. Really? Like, I felt that screaming.
I'm just like, God damn, I see myself in KD.
Why you acting better than me? That's what I felt.
Why you
But no, matter of fact, Greg, let me just say this real quick. Greg, you are just like Trey in the sense that you guys have been so calm, so balanced. I got Trey to break, right? We brought up college and him and Bishop. He broke us a little bit, just enough for me to say he got emotions. Greg, I thought you were a robot. I thought you were set for the future to come destroy us, right? And now, yo, with the energy and the passion. Matter of fact, Greg, you got anything else to say about how Draymond
He don't need to say nothing about that because he was begging Kevin Durant to come.
Tell him, talk to him, Greg.
You don't call. That's like calling and begging a chick to come over. She come over. And she
here it go. Here it go.
You get mad.
It's coming out now. A lot of it. You're getting down to the
one that called her. So don't be crying.
Okay, Greg. Tell us. Talk to us, Greg.
Don't be crying.
He said, "Don't be
crying." What's her name, Greg? We can right now. What's her name, Greg? What's her name?
Shout her out, Greg. Let her know. I hope she's watching the show.
See what's up.
Oh no, married now. I'm married now. I'm good.
Oh, so that's
I'm good this way.
See, you right?
Okay,
good this way.
I can make it quick.
There we go. Hey, I'm glad Greg preached the word. That was a great sermon, Greg.
Hold on, one more time. Greg, show that ring.
Yeah, y'all drop 20 in Greg collection.
Hold on, sis. Yeah, hold on. Go back. Everyone, you see that ring? Hey, yo, Shorty, if you watching, you missed out. You swung in the
missed out. You missed out.
What you talking about?
You lost out on the real one, Shorty.
I'm saying
You played yourself. You played yourself.
Yo, Greg had like energy and passion, and it was like, all right.
Yo, like
humanity lives, bro.
I couldn't even see it, but I could feel it through how he came
across. Yo, sis, let me put it to you this way, sis. You know when you like FaceTime with someone and you get mad, you get close to the camera? That was Greg. Yep. He was in the camera's face. Yo, he almost told the camera, he almost told his phone, hey, yo, run your pockets. Like, that's how deep he was. Hey, yo,
Greg said, I remember. You thought I forgot. I remember.
I remember that daily. He would write that in his face after game 7, right there, talking to him after game 7. After lost.
And that's the thing, like, because we make fun of KD, right? And you guys know Draymond gets a pass for literally flying out. He flew out. Him, Steph, Iggy, and Clay flew out. And Draymond looked this man in the eye and was like, "You're my small forward." My guy Carly, he was T.O. talking about his quarterback. He was like,
"Woo,
my small forward, dog." Yep. And Katie was like, "You know what? I got you." They dapped up, and as soon as Draymond hugged him, he was like, I guarantee, I swear to God, Draymond must have called him that under his breath. He must have, because and he gets a pass. He gets a pass for saying that and say, "We didn't need you." And it's like, okay, you begged for him, bro. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't.
And then he tried to lie about it, like, bro.
It's obvious because you fought on the court. It's obvious you fought on the court. Come on, man. I saw
exactly.
That.
Like, come on, like, do better. And look, I'm gonna say this, and then we'll move on. Look, man, Draymond, you need to understand something. Was KD a necessity? No, he was a luxury, right? I don't need internet. I don't need it. I goddamn want it. You feel me? You ain't finna make me. You ain't gonna take my thing away without a fight. Feel me? Mm-hmm. And that's what it was. See, what it was Golden State was a house. Kevin Durant was the internet, right? Made things easy. Made things fun. It was interesting.
Now he was Wi-Fi.
Then all of a sudden the package changed, the price went up, and they disconnected. And now they talking about, we never needed Wi-Fi. Meanwhile, now you're out here looking, bro, they had some rough times after that. And I understand it was because of the injuries. But I said when everything happened, I was like, this low key is gonna sound messed up, but it's karma. Because that was his last year. You guys were being hella disrespectful to him. The organization were basically begging KD to sign back for one more year so he could play that first year in the new arena. They were practically begging him. Yep. They were like, "Yo, KD, what you want?" They were like, "Yo, what you want? Yo, you want a house? I mean, we got it." He was getting a college football coach deal, bro. He had a house, he had cars, he had it all. For real. And then all the injuries came, and I was like, "Look, bro, I ain't trying to sound corny, but this is karma. This is karma." Was KD a clown for going there? Yeah. But when y'all had him, y'all did him dirty multiple times.
Mhm.
Multiple times. Yo, Draymond called KD a bitch. I was like, yeah, Draymond got to get suspended for like a game or two. Well, we had a good
I knew he was
time.
leaving once that happened. I knew he was leaving because there's no
That
coming back.
that
from
told me
that.
right there. That
There's
when
no coming back from that.
yeah, no. As soon as he said that, he was like, "Yo, I'm just here to finish it off, and it is what it is." But
Yeah.
keep it in NBA talk. Coach, let me ask you a question. Your Rockets all of a sudden know what it's like to win, and I think it's funny. I think it's a little funny.
Oh no.
You guys are winning without you know who. Jalen Green all of a sudden isn't on the court, and all of a sudden they know how to win, baby. So I'm gonna ask you the real hard-hitting questions. Jalen Green, is he a liability to your team?
Absolutely not. I still got faith in Jalen Green. I don't believe he's a liability. I mean, he averaged 14 points a game. He was putting up points. But again, I just love the coaching adjustments in the rotations by Coach Steven Silas. I mean, the people I've been constantly on the channel begging about the play. Josh Christopher should be in the G League. He's too good for the G League, and he showed why last night. The guy's a absolute pit bull. He didn't miss a shot from the field. He had 9 points. He had 17 points. He didn't miss a shot. His toughness, the way he guarded James Harden to make James Harden work. He didn't back down. Christian Wood didn't shoot well, but he impacted the game on several sides of the floor, on the defensive side of the floor. And you got Şengün, who's an 18-year-old rookie, playing great at power forward. Got post moves, can shoot, needs to improve on the shot a little bit, but he can shoot. Eric Gordon and DJ Augustine being those veteran leaders to these young guys, and John Wall being on the bench. And like I say, you got a plethora of young guys that's out there, man. Garrison Matthews played for Washington last year, big time 3-point shooter. Now I like the energy, the way this team fight. And Coach, I got to give credit to Coach Steven Silas. Everybody was basically calling for his head early, but he made the right coaching adjustments. And you're seeing a lot of more guys dive on the floor. You're seeing a 3-2 zone discombobulate people, and they able to rebound better, and the ball movement's been good. They're not turning the basketball over as much as they've been turned over earlier. And by them being 3 contending playoff teams, that makes you feel good about this, the potential of this team in the future. I mean, to beat Chicago, to beat a pretty decent Charlotte team, then you beat Brooklyn Nets, even though they didn't have Kevin Durant, but you still got a great player, James Harden, who can keep a team in a game alone by himself, who can impact the game alone on the offensive end by himself. You still had Patty Mills out there that can shoot the basketball. And like I say again, I don't think the Rockets, I don't think Jalen Green is again, I don't think he was the reason why the team was struggling. I believe because we turned the ball over so goddamn much, we averaged 19 turnovers. You can't win a game if you average 19 turnovers and can't shoot free throws consistently. And we was in most of those games. We just couldn't get a shot up every time. And Kevin Porter Jr. was playing great basketball during this winning streak as well. So again, I just got to give credit to the coaching staff and the rotation players that he's putting in. And like I said again, I just got to get the coaching staff credit.
Yeah. Trey, let me ask you something. Because I look at this Rockets team, the same way I look at the Detroit team. They're not, I'm not gonna lie and say they're great. They're not. But they have been in some close games. Some games that they had that have been winnable. And a lot of people are shitting on the head coach when, if we're gonna be honest, the head coach can only go to what he's got. So do you think that Steven Silas is the legit future coach for this team?
No, I don't. So what's going to happen is you're going to have other coaches that are going to leave other programs. You're going to have coaches that start to ascend from the college ranks or different coordinators or assistant coaches. And that's going to, at some point, it's going to be when you are an owner, I foresee when you're an owner and you see this and you want to get the next hot thing or who's hot and you take in consideration what you have going on in your organization, then I think that's going to be the reason for his demise. But that's not to say that he's not going to get another opportunity somewhere else, because what usually happens is one man's trash is another man's treasure, and someone's going to look and see, and they're going to see something that they thought was very valuable, and that's going to allow him to go to maybe a smaller market and get another opportunity when he's no longer the Houston head coach.
Greg, obviously the Rockets, like I said, winning all of a sudden is something they enjoy to do. I don't know why, because I really thought they were gonna just tank this year, get a good high draft pick, and move on. That's really what I thought the plan was.
All right, yeah.
However, all that being said, do you think Houston should consider the possibility of trying to fight for a play-in spot?
Yeah. I mean, if they wanted to tank, they should have just kept on losing the way that they was. So now that they've won 7 straight, I mean, why not? If they did get in a play-in, it'll be a good experience for those young players, and it'll be good for Coach Silas as well. So I mean, why not? I mean, go for it, because they're gonna have a chance. If they keep on this pace, they're gonna have a chance to be in the play-in. Portland is Portland. We all know the deal with that. So maybe they can, come up and steal that spot. So,
Yeah. So obviously, let me pose a very interesting question to you, sis.
Mm-hmm.
To you, what is more impressive? T-Mac dropping 13 and 33 seconds, or going from 15 straight losing to all of a sudden 17 straight without a key piece in Jalen Green being out of the rotation?
I gotta go.
Whoa.
Wow. Please explain.
Dang.
Right? So Trey, I think you and I, we're on the same page, right?
Because
okay, go ahead, sis. Explain. I hear you. Loud
still
and clear,
have
sis.
yet to see. Like, we've yet to see a guy still scoring in 33 seconds. Like, that's legendary. And granted, don't get me wrong, like, the Rockets winning without a key piece, without their current key piece with Jalen Green, like, that's impressive. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not taking that away from them at all. But 13 points in 33 seconds. If you're down 13 with 33 seconds left, especially in today's NBA, it's over. That's game. That's a wrap. Like, there's no trying to fight to come back. There's no hitting the shots that T-Mac was hitting. There's none of that. It's just like, okay, well, we lost. We're going to chalk this one up and we'll get the next one. But T-Mac was like, no. He was on some completely different, like, superhuman, otherworldly stuff right there. Like, come on, man. Like, we got to really put this in perspective. Like, we have yet to see, again, like I said, we've yet to see somebody even attempt to do it. Not even, you know what I'm saying? Not do it like they haven't even attempted to do it, because it's such like just a wild thing to even think about, to the point where T-Mac's legend is kind of hinged on that. Like, every year that the anniversary comes around, it pops back up on ESPN. It's on over social media. Like, that's the most legend. That's the more legendary moment for me. I'm sorry. Like, it just is what it is.
Yeah, and I kind of want to go ahead and touch on another point, the Steven Silas, and that point as well. I'm not saying Steven Silas is the right man for the job. I mean, like I say, I'm not going to say he's going to be here in the near future. But again, you got to look at what he's came in with. He came in dealing with James Harden shenanigans the very following year. Then we had injuries all over the place. We was in the 8th spot, 11-11. Christian Wood gets hurt. We doesn't win another game until he comes back. And then that's when the team started getting a little flow. This year, we lost a lot of close games, like to the Lakers twice because free throws and turnovers. We lost to Phoenix in the second half, free throws and turnovers. We lost to New York when we had a fourth quarter lead. We had 2 turnovers in that. So the team has capability. They have capability of beating any good teams. It's just the problem is they struggle.
They're a young team.
Yeah, they're a young team and they're struggle. They're struggle time. They're the second youngest team, so it's gonna take some time for these guys to develop fully. And Steven Silas and Steven Silas' ability to be. I think he still can be a very good head coach. I'm not saying he's the guy for this team though. And then the Tracy McGrady, 13 points in 30 seconds was phenomenal, but San Antonio also helped them out as well. Get that, but you would never see that again. I guarantee you would never see nobody score like that again. When you had Tim Duncan with a 4-point play, when you're being undisciplined and you're jumping on a player, and then a player jumps right into you, he makes the shot. You got Tracy McGrady jumping in front of an inbounds pass and making a three-point shot. That's not San Antonio basketball. And then the best thing of them all, you know you're going to get fouled with 6 seconds on the clock. You know you're going to get fouled. Devin Brown gets the ball. He literally dribbles between Tracy McGrady and a double team. He gets the ball taken. All you have to do is hold the ball, and they would have to foul you. They weren't going to do a jump ball or nothing like that. And Tracy McGrady ends up getting the ball and making that 3-pointer. And also San Antonio helped him out, but that was definitely impressive, man. I don't think you will ever see that nowhere near in this NBA today.
Greg, to you, Greg, what's more impressive to you? What the wizardry that that guy T-Mac did, or the absurdity that the Rockets are doing right now?
I'm gonna go with T-Mac. What he did to 13 in 33 seconds. That was incredible. And the only thing that's you could say was, if you want to say, oh, that was better than that, or something. What was the when what's his name? Reggie Miller scored like 12.
Was that against the Knicks? I think it was.
Yeah, that was against the Knicks.
And that was in the playoffs too.
Yeah.
7 and 8 or something, and 11 or something like that.
Yeah, like 11 points, and I think it was like 30 or however many seconds it was. So yeah, and that's the only thing that can, if you want to say that's above that, just because it was playoffs, but. T-Mac to 13 and 33. I mean, 33 seconds left. You up by that much. You're thinking game over. Obviously, and then to have that happen by one player, it's crazy. It's great.
Like, I remember that game like it was yesterday. The Rockets were struggling going into that game, and San Antonio was one of the best teams in the game in that year. So that was a great victory, and that was great. You would not think San Antonio would lose a lead like that in 33 seconds. And Greg Popovich even came out. He condoned Tracy McGrady for that, and that was one of the nights. I mean, that the man just got hot. He just got hot. And you couldn't control with Tracy. You couldn't control that. I mean, we needed that win bad. We were struggling going into that game.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Trey, do you mind if I go first, sir?
Go ahead.
Fantastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. What Tracy McGrady did, it was great. Don't get it twisted. Like I said, when you're down 13, it's usually over, right? And I understand that against that San Antonio Spurs team, that was one of the best teams in the league. They were great. I'm not taking anything from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you can get a 7-game win streak together, that is impressive. I don't need these guys to be focused for 13 seconds. I need them to be focused for over 13 games. Mm-hmm. These youngsters, when they see a squirrel across the street, goes, squirrel, like the dog from Up, right? And if I can have their attention for 7 games straight to give us wins, God bless them. But matter of fact, they beat the Bulls. Are the Bulls a good team? They're better than the Rockets, right?
Yes.
Yep.
They won. Mm-hmm. The Hornets are a good team, right? They're all right.
They're better, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
better than the Rockets, right? Thunder, better than the Rockets?
No.
No, they're kind of the same.
They're kind of the same team. I would say the same team.
Matter of fact, fine. I'll agree with you. I'll say same, right? They beat the Rockets twice. The Magic, which I
we beat them 3-1. We beat them 3-1. They beat us one time.
No,
but we the same team.
Win streak. I'm talking about during
we beat them twice in the win streak. Yeah. We the same team. Same team.
During the win streak, you beat the Thunder twice. Then y'all beat the Magic, which I believe you guys are better than the Magic.
Yeah.
Who's better, the Pelicans or the Rockets?
I would say with a healthy Pelicans team, I would say the Pelicans will maybe be.
No, I'm just talking about right now. No,
Oh, the Rockets are better.
Rockets.
Rockets are
Right
better.
now, the
You want to
Rockets.
say Rockets? Okay, fine.
Rockets are better.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, the Brooklyn Nets.
Not even close. Brooklyn better.
Brooklyn, right?
Brooklyn.
So they beat 3 teams
Quality
that people
teams.
consider are in the playoffs, that being the Bulls, the Hornets, and the Nets. Trey, you gotta hate me here.
The
They
Bulls
also
and the
beat
Nets are possibly championship contenders.
right. That's a
Possibly.
chance. And I like so we got that. And on top of that, they also beat the Thunder twice, who beat the Lakers. So, I'm just being a cornball and rubbing it in your face, Trey.
You didn't have to do that.
I have to. Come on, sis. You know me. I'm a petty.
You
guy.
didn't have to do that. You
I'm
didn't have to do that.
petty.
Out of nowhere, like they had nothing to do with this conversation.
absolutely
They're not
nothing
in
to
the
do
win
with it.
streak.
Not
They're
at
like,
all.
Yo,
Not at
sis,
all.
it had nothing to
Nothing
do
to
with
do
it.
with it.
Trey was on my side. Him and we were on the same team. I turned around. I just did friendly fire. Plug it.
yeah, I feel like we're in a WWE wrestling match, and
Man,
you
I'm
just
trying to tell you, they
you
just
just turned heel on me
smacked down
instantly.
just now.
He just hit Trey in the back for the kill. He
Yo,
just
I was like,
We just won the tag team championship, and they turned around and smacked me with a chair.
hit him
no
in the
reason.
back.
For no reason.
I didn't even see
For
it
no
coming.
reason. For no reason.
Look, at this, like, all I'm saying, all jokes aside, right? The way I look at this win streak, they beat 3 quality teams, and then honestly, I think the only game that was, easy for them, that should have been easy, was the Magic. I think that's the only I think every other team, like the Pelicans and the Rockets, I say they're kind of on par with each other, right? I look at them as on par. They beat the Bulls, Hornets, and Nets, who are just extremely better than them. And by the way, when they beat the Hornets, they hung up 146. 146. Y'all want to talk about 13 points in 30 seconds? Imagine 4 quarters, 146 by straight up children. In terms of like age for the league, these are youngsters. These are kids.
Warriors only 20. Jalen Green 19. Shane Gillis 18 years old.
They can't even
We got
buy
the
a drink.
second youngest roster in the NBA. Second
Right.
youngest roster.
And if
you
I'm not
take out
mistaken,
Eric Gordon
I
or
think you guys
DJ
are only
Augustine,
behind the Magic, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. You take out Eric Gordon and DJ Augustine.
And then you guys are by far the youngest.
Yeah, by far.
It's really those two that are holding, and technically also John
Wall, you take him away.
John
Yeah.
Wall is still on the roster, but when he leaves, that'll dip. But when I look at this, and again, nothing to knock on Trace McGrady's, 13 and 30. But again, he beat a quality team. These Rockets beat 3. Do with that information as you will. Trey, back me up on this.
I clearly I agree with you. I can see Alana's and Greg's and everyone's point when they talk about the 33.
I never chose though. I never chose.
Yeah. I'm tracking. So I see their point. So, but like you was just saying, at the end of the day, they have turned we was just trashing them a couple of weeks ago about how they wasn't able to beat anybody. Now here we are. 7 games in, they've knocked out 3 quality opponents. They took care of the ones they were supposed to take care of. So now, when you look at that, for me, it's just as much as more impressive as opposed to T-Mac 17 years ago with his 13 and 33 feet. Not to be to turn our nose up at, but when you look at it, that point, they need these games. Now, I don't know how far they're going to go. I don't know if they're going to turn it into 13 or they're going to get to, I think it's the Rockets that hold the record for the most games in a row with 27 or something like that. So
I think it was 22 game winning streak.
22. So I'm not going to go out and say that's where they're finna go. But I mean, who knows?
Yep. And again, and I'll be honest, when it comes to this, you can't really choose wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, again, and again, I think Greg, I think you said it, or it might have been said, when you're down 13, or it might have been you, Coach, when you're down 13 towards the end of the game, you only got a few seconds, the game's over. You got dudes that literally just dribbling the ball out. The defense kind of just backs off, let them kill the time. It is what it is. For them to do that, and on top of that, this is something that, when people talk about, the 13 to 13 seconds, they won the game. So, to me, I don't think you can really choose.
Yeah, because
one.
that's like when you think about how they did it, like those 3 pointers he was making, how he made like that is crazy. So,
It is.
I
like
agree.
like
Like I
Elijah said, you
actually,
might not
It's
see that
wild.
again.
that's hard, man, because
It's
you
hard.
can't count out 13 points in 33 seconds. But then again, you look at this winning streak after going 1-16, and thinking that we can't get a win, we can't beat anybody, we're not better than anybody in this league. We even lost to Detroit, and Detroit is the worst, probably the worst. Probably, well, I think we're better hands down than Detroit. We just struggled in that game. Detroit didn't even have a great game. They couldn't even shoot in that game. But the problem is the offensive boards and the turnovers for the Rockets hampered Detroit to have that game. But again, I say we're the second youngest roster in the game, and I just got to give credit to Steven Silas again. I agree with Trey. I don't know if Steven Silas is the right coach for this job. I just got to give him credit because his rotations and the adjustments have just been better. And to see us, the potential of this team come out of possibly in the near future of beating those 3 playoff teams, that definitely gives these young guys confidence. Hey, we can play with these guys. We can play with these some of the big dogs in the NBA. So it definitely gives some of these young guys confidence. And just with the only thing about it, I just want to see how we react when Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. come back. Well, I know what you're getting out of Kevin Porter Jr. because he was part of the winning streak as well before he got hurt. But it'll be interesting to see when Jalen Green comes back how this team performs because, like I say, the rotations are better. The rotations are better. Josh Christopher is a stud guy, man. Just get this guy a couple more years. This guy's a defender. He pick you up at half court, and he doesn't back down from any challenges. And James Harden is less effective because he's not getting every call anymore. He's initiating the contact. He's not getting every call anymore. So it makes it easier to kind of defend him and take him out of the game when he's just running into you, knowing he's not going to get the call every single time anymore. So again, I just feel good about this team, and I'm just happy about this team. Not going to over exaggerate, but I'm just happy of the adjustments that Coach Silas and his team are able to make.
Yeah. And then real quick before we move on your James Harden point, I genuinely believe he still get those calls. I genuinely believe in his mind he thinks, oh yeah, if I do this just long enough, they'll go back and start calling it for me. I just gotta say one thing, James. Get your shit together. Matter of fact, don't. Keep doing it. It gives my Celtics an opportunity to climb, even though we probably won't do shit because we're the epitome of inconsistency. Today, Thursday night, our good Lord, who died on the cross for our sins, decided to bless us with this banger of a game, Pittsburgh versus the Vikings. Woo! I found out recently that Ben Roethlisberger is 355 yards away from being 5th in all-time throwing yards. A lot of fans all of a sudden believe that he'll do it. That he'll throw 300 yards this game. That he's going to light it up. He's going to go pew-pew. Trey, matter of fact, sis, let me start with you. Do you believe that Ben Roethlisberger can throw 355 yards and be 5th all time? You think you can do it this game?
Absolutely not. I don't know what Ben Roethlisberger the fans have been watching, but the one that I've been watching is not a guy that can just go out and get 300 yards. Like I'm sorry, that's just not what it is anymore. Now, if this was like 2 or 3 years ago, then maybe. But as of right now, absolutely not. Like he's not the same quarterback anymore. Like we have to understand, like everybody ain't Tom Brady. Like everybody ain't gonna play until they're 40-something years old and still be able to put up big numbers like that. Like Tom Brady could still throw for 300 yards for a game with ease. Ben Roethlisberger ain't that kind of quarterback. He just isn't. I don't know if he's taking too many hits. I don't know if he didn't take care of his. I don't know what it is, but
I think it's a combination of all that.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of all kinds of things. I don't think he, you know what I'm saying, that he took the conditioning as serious. I don't think that he just was never that kind of quarterback to me that was going to have longevity because the style that he plays is very reckless, it's very dangerous, and it's not something that's gonna have you last long in the league. So no, absolutely not. Like I mean, maybe if he plays the remaining of this season and maybe next season it could be a culmination and then he can finally get to the 355 yards. But in one game, absolutely not.
So Trey, onto the Viking side, real quick. Dalvin Cook, he got injured, right? MRI revealed the torn labrum. Then Mike Zimmer, the savant. By the way, I'll take old man Ben versus I shit the bed on primetime Cousins. I will never understand the Kirk Cousins hatred because I'm not gonna say that all of a sudden he's phenomenal, but I don't know. I guess Kirk Cousins, he wore his ring one time, a size too big, accidentally on his thumb, so he wouldn't lose it. So he's the second coming of Satan. I guess, go figure. But Dalvin Cook, the MRI revealed a torn labrum. Mike Zimmer, the genius this guy is, says, nah, he didn't do it. Fuck modern medicine. He's day to day. He's questionable to play today. Tonight. Trey, you're running the Vikings. Do you take that risk and have Dalvin Cook play?
No, Dalvin Cook's not playing. If I'm ready, if I'm the head coach, if I'm the owner, if I'm the GM, Dalvin Cook's not going to play. At this point, it's not worth the risk for this one game. We're not close enough it could keep us in the hunt. We would have to be like a top seed or just outside on the cusp, like the eighth seed in reference, and have and be on par to possibly get into the playoffs for the risk back. So I wouldn't do it. It's not worth it at this point. In my opinion.
They're going to rally around Big Ben. Cook isn't ready. Mika going to have Jefferson on lock. He's going to make safety. It's definitely an under game which favors old man Ben. I mean, I don't know. Matter of fact, Greg, let me put that question on you. This individual, I believe they believe that Steelers going to win if I'm reading this correctly. Dalvin Cook. I mean, me personally, I'm not playing Dalvin Cook. I'm keeping him on the sideline because, again, if the MRI shows a torn labrum, I'm not going to go to my head coach and say, "Hey, buddy, what's your medical expertise?" I'm not going to do that. So, do you believe that this offense, Minnesota's offense, will be able to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers without Dalvin Cook?
No. Kirk Cousins is another quarterback that I don't trust. Kirk Cousins always does something in a big game. He'll do a throw, and you're like, what the heck were you thinking?
Oh, you mean like Patrick Mahomes all year?
You said,
my bad. That's immature.
Wow.
That's immature.
Wow.
That's immature. That's immature. I mean, I apologize. Go ahead, Greg. Go ahead, pop off.
All
My
right.
bad, Greg.
Come on. I hear another experience coming on. I hear another experience come on. Let's just wait for it. I hear another experience.
Y'all
yo, Greg, you got a supporter in the chat. He said, "Greg, did we just become best friends?" Yo, you got a supporter in the chat.
Right on, Dre. But no, Patriots will see how good Patrick Mahomes is in January, so that's not worried. But
we'll find out how good they are at packing their bags and getting ready to go on vacation, baby. Okay. Because you're not doing that.
All right. But Kirk Cousins, he's always gonna do something that he'll find a way to mess up a game. So I have the Steelers winning tonight, especially without Dalvin Cook. Jordan Jefferson is awesome, but at the same time,
Justin
Jefferson. I'm sorry, Justin Jefferson is awesome, but at the same time, I just don't trust Kirk Cousins in a big game. I'm not saying the Steelers are going to blow them out. I think they're only going to win by like 7, but I do have the Steelers winning tonight. But Big Ben is not going to throw 355 yards. No. No. If he gets 250, that's good. That's good.
I'll be surprised because this year he has not been, honestly, he hasn't been good, but Coach, let me ask you this because for some reason, 2 words for Viking fans, Cooper Rush. Didn't y'all tie the Vikings though? Or I'm sorry, the Lions. So 2 words for you, Jared Goff. I mean, I'm just if everyone put it in context. I mean, like if we're just gonna be honest, matter of fact, let's have some fun. Joe Burrow. Does that name mean anything to you? Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. Come on now.
Joe Burrow,
41
lift
and
him
10.
up.
Come on, Skip. Come on. By the way, in other words, Justin Herbert. I'm being a clown. Oh, you a Cowboys fan? Man, come on, man. Yo, come on, yo, Drake. For just for this argument, come on, be a Pittsburgh fan for like 5 minutes, bro. Come on. Just like 5 minutes. Be a Pittsburgh fan just for a little bit. But Ben Roethlisberger has obviously, been on the decline, and God knows why they continue to have him throw the ball. I really don't. The least amount of throws he's had this year was 25, which I liked. And after that, it's just at least 30s. So, Coach, how many touches do you think Najee Harris should get if they're going to win? And do you think Najee Harris should have more touches than Ben Roethlisberger has pass attempts?
I mean, it helps their offense out. It helps their offense out. Najee Harris get more carries than Ben Roethlisberger get throws because it takes much pressure off his arm. I think Najee Harris, for them to win this game, he should get between 15 to 20 touches. I mean, if not, it depends on how good they're running the football. They haven't used him much this year. I'm surprised they drafted him. He's a good running back. It seems like every time they use him out of the backfield. They throw passes to him, but they don't never attempt to use the run game like that. So again, I will keep it between 15 to 20 touches. He should get. It just depends on how good the running game is. I don't got the Vikings winning this game. But I think they got the potential to win this game because even without Dalvin Cook out, you still got the Justin Jefferson, Allen Thielen. You still got some weapons over there. But the problem is, Kirk Cousins cannot win you not one big game that you can think of. I can go years and years that he blew the game in Washington that you needed to win. You're playing against a mediocre Panthers team. Matter of fact, you're playing against Teddy Bridgewater. You lose that game. If you win that game, you're in the playoffs. He doesn't win that game. Then Sunday, you mean to tell me the defense couldn't stop the Detroit Lions for 4 seconds? 4 seconds. So hey, again, them the type, and then you couldn't beat the Dallas. You can't beat the Dallas Cowboys. You choked against the Dallas Cowboys. So those are the games we're talking about. While Kirk Cousins is not one of the elite quarterbacks, is not even a star quarterback. Kirk Cousins is a very good quarterback, but he's just not a star quarterback because he can't win games he's supposed to win. He can't get his team over the top when they actually need him to. So again, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers winning this game in a close game.
Did everybody go? Did everybody go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure because the Vikings are going to win this game. They are going to handle it. They're going to have a double-digit win. Najee Harris is obviously he's gonna do his damage. I hope he does anyway because I have him on fantasy. So Najee, get cooking. You better look like Adrian Peterson. We almost broke that record. You said let's bet 1K on it. Look here, buddy. The only K I know is the letter in the alphabet. You smoke it early. Look, man, listen. I am not a Vikings team. I'm not a Vikings fan. If you want to bet any Patriots game, I'm with you there. Well, not this week because we're on a bye week, but I'm with you there if you want to bet any Patriots game. But I'm not betting. I don't bet on any other team. I don't bet on any. There's only 3 games. There's only 3 teams I bet on, and that's the Boston Red Sox, Boston Celtics, New England Patriots. That's it. And I bet like a homer. If I'm telling you right now, if I were to bet with my heart if I ever bet like this on the Celtics, I'd be so poor right now, bro. I'll lose it all. I would lose it all. So the Celtics right now, we are entering the rocky stage in our relationship. In like 2 weeks, Trey, you about to have me screaming at the camera like Greg was earlier. So, but look, I understand why y'all saying about Kirk Cousins. I get it. But I'm gonna put it to y'all like this. I think we're blaming Kirk Cousins a lot. And does he deserve some of the blame? Of course, don't get it twisted. But on top of that, the primetime games, right? The Sunday night primetime games, okay? He has started in 6 on the Sunday night game, the cream of the crop. And he
Hey,
is
yo,
4 and
fellas,
2 in
I
those
gotta
games.
get up out of here real quick. Sorry to interrupt you,
All right,
Ty, but I
sis.
gotta go.
Are you good, sis? Take care.
All right, y'all
All right,
take care.
Lyle.
Y'all have a good one.
All
Yep.
right.
You as
too.
well.
Take care.
But
Okay.
Kirk Cousins is 6 and 2. I'm sorry, 4 and 2 in those 6 games in the primetime games. 2 and 1 in Washington, 2 and 1 in Minnesota. In those games, he's at a 73% completion percentage with 15 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And on those Sunday night games, the primetime games, he's won the last 2. So I don't like this thing on how, he can't handle the primetime. You know what I mean?
We talking about the thing I was talking about. We not talking about prime time. We talking about playoff caliber. When you need one for them to get in the playoffs, those are the games he struggles in. The playoff caliber teams, playoff caliber games. When you need him to step up and when us games go to the playoffs, Kirk Cousins always saying he can't do it. But I'm not blaming everything on Kirk Cousins. While Minnesota is mediocre, this defense is not even good either. So this defense is not off the spike either. We can't get off this defense because this defense has not been good. But like as far as the playoff type of scenario games, Kirk Cousins has not came through. But this defense is not good. This defense is very bad as well.
So he's Trent Dilfer without a ring, and that's not even close. He's better than Trent Dilfer, and I'm going to explain to you. The Arizona Cardinals, week 2, they lost. That's not a playoff caliber team. That's a Super Bowl caliber team. This is a team that has Super Bowl or bust. 22 for 32, so that's 68%. 244 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Is that his fault that they lost?
Well, read the stats again.
22 for 32, which is 68%.
No.
Yeah,
that was
68%.
The field goal kicker missed it.
And that's my point. There are some games that Kirk Cousins sold. Don't get it twisted now. There are some games, but if he sold some games here and there, and then let's say the defense sells him, or the the game against Detroit, I don't blame him that at all. He went 35%, 340 with 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
The defense sucked in that game.
Bro, the defense sold them.
Yeah, it did.
You couldn't stop him with 4 seconds left? You mean to tell me you couldn't stop nobody with 4 seconds left?
And you see, and that goes my point. Green Bay, the Green Bay Packers, that's another Super Bowl caliber team. 24 for 35, that's 68%, 341 yards, 3 touchdowns. No interceptions.
That was my upset pick. I remember that. That was in Minnesota, right?
Yeah, Minnesota. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, that was my upset pick. I had
Minnesota.
winning that game.
Let's go to the Chargers, who they're up and coming. They're an up and coming team. They're a pretty good team. Some people think they could win the division. 25 for 37, 67%, 294 yards, 2 touchdowns.
That's good.
So, and look, and again, but Dre, here's what I'm asking: where are you going to give him the fault? Because I'm looking at him and watching that game. At no point did I sit there and say this is Kirk Cousins' fault. I watched the game because I watched it because I picked Detroit to win, right? And I wanted to be history because I wanted to see it. At no point during that game did I think at all, Kirk Cousins, what the fuck are you doing, dog? At no point. That was the defense that completely and utterly sold.
Well, that Packers
100%.
game.
And that's always been my thing with Kirk Cousins. They always say, when it comes to now, again, this game that I'm about to bring up, 110% Kirk Cousins' fault, and he needs to wear it. So that way, y'all know I hold Kirk Cousins responsible. Week 4 against Cleveland. They lost 14-7. He went 20 for 38, 52%, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I watched that game. He was sloppy. Dare I say, both teams really were sloppy. But Kirk Cousins specifically was extremely sloppy. There were some throws that he missed on Adam Thielen that was ridiculous. And I think there was one he underthrew Justin Jefferson that almost was picked off. And he underthrew him bad. To the point where I was like, Kirk, what the fuck you like? Come on, bro. You've been here long enough. How you do that? And you've been with Justin Jefferson for a while, so you understand where to put the ball. So my only thing is, I don't think it's fair that we just, always yell at him. And always, like, for instance, Baltimore. This wasn't a bet necessarily of this to me was an end game. Baltimore. They lost 17 for 28, 60%, 187 with 2 touchdowns. To me, that was an end game. They were running the ball, so they
were running the ball, so that was like a game managing type of game.
Exactly, it was a game managing.
That wasn't actually his fault, but they were running the ball. They were running the ball.
Right, but again,
I don't blame him.
Again, the same thing. There were a couple passes that he overthrew ridiculously.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying this for consistency. When Kirk Cousins messes up, I do hold him accountable. All I'm saying, if they lose, it doesn't mean it was Kirk Cousins' fault. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying you need to look at it because sometimes it is. For instance, with Dallas, I blame Kirk Cousins, but I blame everybody as well.
Agreed.
I blame the receivers. I blame the running back. I blame defense. I blame coaching. I think for that loss, everyone deserves some type of culpability.
Agreed. Yeah.
So again, I'm just saying this stuff to show. I listed 3-4 games that Kirk Cousins high key sold on, and I'm putting him on. Like I'm telling him, Kirk, you gotta wear this one. You gotta wear this one.
Well, even that Packers game, they almost blew that one. Remember, he threw the pick before the 2-minute warning, and then they had the penalty on Green Bay that brought it back. So he almost messed up on that one, but he ended up finding a way. So.
I don't think he almost messed up on that play because again, the way I'm looking, at no point did I say Kirk Cousins almost for Green Bay. Another one that all I'm saying is I don't think it's necessarily fair just to always say that Kirk Cousins, against playoff teams that he always fumbles or something like that. I don't think that's fair because has he sometimes done that? Yes, don't get it twisted. But there are other times that he stepped up and something else happened. Whether he just delivered a perfect pass and someone dropped it, or the defense all of a sudden didn't want to play, or the coaching is what ended up messing him up. So all I'm saying, let's be nice with him. Let's cut him a little bit of slack. Let me ask y'all this around the horn real quick. Let me ask you a question. If the game is online, do you trust him? Me personally, yes. I do. I think more times than not, he'll be, he'll do what he has to do. Regardless of what the situation is, whether it's handoff, whether do a check down or go deep. I'm okay with whatever Kirk Cousins does because he has shown me in close games. That's all I'm saying. Now, obviously, I'm not saying I trust him more than Aaron Rodgers. I don't trust him more than Tom Brady. I don't trust him more than Drew Brees when he was playing. I'm not saying I trust him more than that. All I'm saying is if you talk about do you trust him, yes or no, I say yes. I do because, again, he showed me before that he can do it. Greg, game online, you trust Kirk Cousins?
No, I don't. His too many times where I've seen him not be able to do it. It's kind of like, Kirk Cousins reminds me a lot of Romo. When Tony Romo was playing for the Cow, all these stats and it looks good and it's, he's decent and all that. And then when it came to a big game, it was always that one throw where you're like, what? And it's the same thing with Kirk Cousins. He'll be doing good. He's, managing the game. He's doing, everything. And then it'll be that one. Appreciate you, Dre. And it'll be that one play where you're like, why? And that's why I can't put my trust in him.
All right. Coach, do you trust Kirk
Uh,
Cousins?
I can't again. I can't give an answer on that because again, it's also the team don't come out to play either
Thank you, and that's my point.
on a big game, so I can't give an answer on that. That I can trust Kirk Cousins because he plays well, but also the team doesn't step up as a whole. This defense, their defense doesn't. None of his team's defense steps up as a whole. So it just like I can't really give an answer, but Kirk Cousins do got to be more of a leader, and he does definitely gonna have to step up in some type of big game situations. But I just can't put most of the games on him because the team as a whole is like doesn't not really step up either. They doesn't step up either. And the defense doesn't step up when they needed to. The defense has been shit the last couple of years. Xavier Rose declined it bad, but now he's doing great at Indianapolis. So I can't really put everything on Kirk Cousins. I mean, I understand everybody wants to because that's the quarterback and the quarterback lead by example. So the quarterback is going to get most of that wear and tear. But again, we got to look at the team as a whole. Is the defense stepping up? Is this coaching staff stepping up? Is this offense? Is this receiver stepping up? Really, nobody has stepped up on any, whether it's Washington or Minnesota. It's just basically a team effort. Kirk Cousins does wear some wear and tear and some blame because he's the quarterback of that team. But the whole team as a whole just doesn't step up when they needed to. They don't come out to play. They don't come out to play. They come out to play as, hey, we're not in the playoffs, not thinking about if you need in this win. We need this win just to get in the playoffs. Like the game against Carolina, when you need a win to get in the playoffs, get a win to get in the playoffs, then they blow it. They blow it against Carolina. Against the Giants, the New York Giants. The team didn't show up against a bad New York Giants and the Odell Beckham football team.
Top to
They
bottom.
did not show up. They did not show up again in that game. So again, it's more than Kirk Cousins. It's more than Kirk Cousins. It's the team as a whole. Nobody will show up.
Yeah, and let me just say these a couple things. So, last year, in terms of fourth quarter pass rating, Patrick Mahomes was in second, and he had a passer rating in the fourth quarter of 128.5. Do you guys happen to know who was first? Kirk Cousins, 136.4. That is the passer rating in the fourth quarter. And this dude, in terms of fourth quarter comebacks, has 13 and 19 game-winning drives. Let alone 3 this year. So I don't understand. I don't get why all of a sudden, yep, he's not good. He's not, and I genuinely don't get that. Came back against Green Bay, Carolina, in Detroit, it was Green Bay and Carolina. Last year was Chicago, Carolina, Jacksonville. In 2019, it was he had one against Denver. In 2018, he had one against Green Bay. 2017, he had 4: Green Bay, Seattle, San Francisco, and the LA Rams. 2016, I mean, should I keep going? I mean, again, if y'all don't want to say he's a top 5 quarterback, I'm not. That's not the point. My point is, if you don't trust Kirk Cousins, it's easier to say that you just don't like him. That's just me. Because again, I genuinely believe he's all right. I believe if you put the ball in his hands, he'll make the right choice.
I said Kirk Cousins is a very good quarterback. He's a very good quarterback. I mean, but again, his teams and his defense don't step up when it matters. But again, he's going to get some of the blame because he's the leader. He's the vocal leader of that team.
And I'm okay with that.
I understand. I'm okay with that as well. I'm okay with that. I'm very okay with that. I'm very okay with that because, like I say, hey, just like a point guard in the NBA, you got to wear that. You got to wear that shit too because it's a team thing. But the defenses need to do a better job of stepping up. And Mike Zimmer and whoever's the coordinator or the coach in the future, they have to do a better job of calling plays during the game. And I said, I think this should be Mike Zimmer last year. Not to say he's not going to be a coach again in this league, because he's going to be another coach in this league again. It's just I think his time is up in Minnesota.
Yeah, and Mike McCarthy just guaranteed a victory for Dallas.
Who are they playing?
Look, I don't want to be.
Who are they playing?
Washington, the football team.
Washington football.
Loss. That's
Which
Hey.
look, hold on now. Don't do that, Mike, because we got to remember this Washington football team, low key, is sneaky good. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I like the Washington football team against Dallas.
Yeah, Washington will win. They're gonna win
because I do have Washington winning, but I just, and he said, Greg, we're not friends anymore. It's just Washington. I think for me, what it is for Washington, Taylor Heineke. This dude was literally told, don't be the reason we've lost. And he's kind of been doing his thing. Yeah. He low-key has been bailing out the defense.
Yeah,
I like him. I really do. I like Taylor Heineke. Antonio Gibson, solid. Taylor Heineke and Terry McLaurin is a very underrated 1-2 duo, bro. They're a duo that I like. They're great. They're great together. It's very interesting. But every time Mike McCarthy, not just Mike McCarthy, anytime any Dallas head coach in the past few years came out and said, we're guaranteeing a victory, they always end up losing. It's weird. It's weird. It's like, Mike, just shut up. Don't say nothing. Okay? Don't just say do the generic stuff that everyone does. So let's be real. Dallas as a team hasn't been a whole all year. D-Law back, we're good back. On the line, you got Dallas. Okay.
Y'all don't make Greg come out and say on the show, like you said on the show, they're gonna go back to cowboy mode.
I mean, look,
I still see it coming. Hey, Greg, I still see it coming a little bit. I still see it coming a little bit. You just gotta wait.
Let me just address this, because I love when Dallas fans say this. We haven't been a team as a whole. Who has?
Everybody.
The Buccaneers' defense is destroyed. It's ravaged. It's horrendous. Not only are the A still winning games, but B, and more importantly, they're still being held to the same standard if they had a fully healthy team. So just because you guys are injured doesn't mean you can go and say, oh, well, we have been. Unfortunately, injuries are part of the game. Unfortunately.
Injuries happen every day in any sport. Come on now. Stop making these type of injuries excuses now. Come on.
Exactly, man. And on top of that, you talk about with the injuries, guess what? Wasn't there a game that the Packers had virtually nobody? It was just Aaron Rodgers. And I think it was literally against, and you said I can't use the same standard when you have Tom Brady, that's fine. Aaron Rodgers. I think it was the Cardinals, matter of fact. I think it was the Cardinals' first loss. He went out, and it was out. Lazard was out because of COVID. Yep. I think Valdez-Scantling was out. Devontae Adams was out.
Everybody was
I think also Aaron Jones was out. This dude was going to war with nothing. And people still expected him to win. So if I can't put you on the same standard as Tom Brady, can I put you on the same standard as Aaron Rodgers? If I'm not allowed to do that, am I allowed to put you on the same standard as Kyler Murray, who, when they were out and he came back, he was expected, regardless of the injury, to take off where he left off and continue carrying this team? Just because your guys are the Dallas Cowboys does not mean you guys are somehow exempt from life. If injuries happen, it sucks. Like me, I'm a New England Patriot fan. If, you know what I mean? Like, Damian Harris, he's injured. He's hurt right now. He ain't looking so hot. That doesn't mean all of a sudden I'm going to go, well, we lost because they... No! You go with what you got. And unfortunately, you got to deal with the results. to me personally, I just don't. When it comes to Dallas, a lot of their fans are bizarre, right? They're like, we don't want the expectations, but you better treat us like we deserve the expectation. It's this weird thing. They want the praise, they want the heat, but they don't want to be criticized. It's bizarre to me. It's so bizarre.
It's just always so many excuses for the Dallas Cowboys every time.
And real quick, they still have majority of their weapons. We're missing our whole damn offense. O-line, Zeke banged up, and we still legit. Look, bro, fully healthy, you guys ain't legit. Let's just call it what it is. Fully healthy, you guys just ain't legit. That's just, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, maybe fully healthy, you guys ain't legit. Let's just call that. And two, you're still.
You want to know, and I'm going to throw something up as well, Brian. You want to know how I know Dallas Cowboys ain't legit? You lost to a practice squad Eagles team when you were actually healthy. But the only thing you guys come back and say, Dak Prescott had a shoulder injury. Well, why is he out there playing?
Why is he out there playing? My thing. That's always been my thing. If you can suit up, I don't want to hear anything about injuries. That's because you suited up.
Yep, and played.
I'm hurt. You knew I am hurt. I am not at 100%, but I can still perform at an acceptable level with me being at 60 or 70 or whatever percent you're at. Like, and again, the people who literally make the most excuses for their team is Dallas. Most of their fans, I'm not saying all of them, because I know a few Dallas fans. I know one who's a moron. He knows nothing about what he's talking about. Dude is literally an idiot. Literally. The dude has no idea what he's talking about. Like I was like, quick, what's the logo for the Dallas Cowboys? And he started. He started and then said a cowboy hat. Like, you're an idiot. Like, you know what I mean? I do know a couple, and not all of them are delusional. Not all of them. Oh, no, look. A lot of Eagles fans are wild. Don't get it twisted now. Eagles fans are wild. They're wild. Right now, they're kind of half rebuilding, half we're trying to make it as a wild card team. And I know some Eagles fans whose expectations to actually go back and repeat what happened with Nick Foles, especially after Gardner Minshew had, after he played last week, they want Jalen Hurts to just not play no more. To start, they want to start this dude, Gardner Minshew. They want him to take off and take him to the Super Bowl, right? That's delusion. That's delusion. 100%. No debate. That's delusion. But again, I'm not going to sit here and say, look, when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, they're not legit. They're not. And again, the only people who will disagree with me are Dallas fans. Like, look, I'm a Pats fan, right? I hope the Patriots make the Super Bowl because I want to see Bill Belichick versus Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. I want to see that. Now, can we legitimately make it? No. No, we cannot legit make it. I'm keeping it a buck. Offensively, we do have some holes where running game, we're good. But outside of that, in terms of passing, I don't think Mac Jones is ready right now to take us to the Super Bowl. I don't think so. I think our wide receiving core, we have two nice tight ends in Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. But our wide receiving core, it's really not. It's better. It's better than what we had last year. But it's not, it's not great. We can still upgrade some guys. But notice how I'm saying all that. We're still, with our record, we're still a playoff team. So that's the funny thing about Dallas fans. We're like, they'll say every year, it's a vicious cycle. We're in the Super Bowl. They go on a little win streak. I told you we're serious. Then it comes down to this point. Oh, we're legit. Then they lose to someone they weren't supposed to lose to. Oh, it's just one game. It doesn't matter. Then they get bounced to the playoffs. Oh, well, they're still next year. And then the vicious cycle just goes around and around and around and around. So to me, like every time, look, bro, Dallas went 13-3 and lost.
That's Aaron Rodgers. That's right. Yep.
Like, and that was the year supposedly they had it all figured out.
That was the year, yeah.
Supposedly that was the year. They haven't been able to replicate that magic since then. And I've said this all the time. And Dallas can literally go undefeated. They can go undefeated.
Then 1 year, I think, was that the year? Well, was that the year that the Dallas Cowboys had that bye week, and then they end up playing Green Bay and getting put out?
Yes.
Or was it,
Yes.
Oh yeah, they don't. I hope y'all know
They
they don't count as the second round. That counts as the second round technically, but you didn't win a playoff game that year. So technically, it doesn't count.
Because they had the bye week.
Yeah, they had the bye week, but you didn't win a playoff game that year. You didn't win a playoff game.
Yeah, 100%. And I say that joke. They literally made the second round by not playing the game.
But not playing the game. But that's basically losing the first round because you didn't play a playoff game.
For them, yeah. I
You
mean,
didn't play that one game.
And here's my thing. Dre, was it a catch? No, it wasn't. I'm just, to me, it wasn't a catch. Again, if you look outside of the Dallas community, it wasn't a catch. That's really how everyone looks at it. There are people who say it was a catch. And again, Dre, you can argue and say Dez caught it. I don't think he did.
They're the only ones that believe that.
I didn't think he caught it either.
They believe that with their whole heart.
And Greg, I'm gonna put it to you this way: if Patrick Mahomes does that same throw to, let's say, Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill, right?
Yep.
And that same situation happened, and they caught it the same way, it's not a catch.
Yeah, it's not.
If Tom Brady
I would come out here and say it.
If Tom Brady threw the ball to Julian Edelman and that was that same play, it wasn't a catch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like
what it is. Yeah.
I mean, me personally, I don't think Dez caught it. I think they got the thing right.
Yeah, it was right.
But even so, let's say he did catch it, and let's say they scored, right? Because this is the argument I love giving people. Because if we're allowed to do, if we're allowed to alter history, that still gave Aaron Rodgers 2+ minutes, but I think 2 timeouts to go score.
Yeah.
If you like your chances on that, I don't know what to tell you.
Because that didn't mean you were going to stop them if you score. If they did score, it means you were going to stop them.
Exactly. That's my thing. Like, you know what I mean? They always say, "Oh yeah, he caught it." My thing is, you know what? Fine, I'll give you that. Let me go around your lines. He caught it. They scored. It is what it is. They make the point after attempt. You're still giving Aaron Rodgers hella time.
Yep.
There's 2 guys in the NFL you don't give that much time to: Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. If you do that, you're just begging to lose. You're literally begging to lose. With 2 timeouts? So my thing is, I'll be honest, I genuinely believe. Now, again, I don't know because it didn't happen, so we can't say for sure. But I believe if the refs gave them that call and said, you know what, it's a touchdown, I think Aaron Rodgers marches up through like he's been marching up all game. He marches up through the right up the field, scores, and then that catch doesn't really matter. That's really how I look at it. The catch at the end of the day, the catch wouldn't matter. Last topic of the day before we get off, because we got a few more minutes here. The Russ trade list. I want to play a game. Let me start with you, Coach. Trade, stay on the phone, or get the dial tone. So, give me one team. Russ should 110% go to this team. No ifs or buts about it. Give me one team where he would have to hear their pitch and have to listen to them before he considers anything. And then give me one team that he would not go to, and if they called him, he would immediately hang up.
Okay. So it's basically 3 teams, right?
Yep. Basically, give me one team he should go to, one team he should think about, and one team he should stay away from.
The team he should stay away from is the all contending teams. None of the non-contenders. 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 If you're not contending, where else can hang up? Possibility. I don't know how you feel about Sacramento because you still got De'Aaron Fox. That's not a great possibility for him to be in because you got a young De'Aaron Fox up there. So I would say I would hang up if I was Sacramento on that. You can possibly put him in Denver. Indiana probably will be will be one of the choices. Uh, Philadelphia, I will say no. Portland, you probably can get him in Portland, but I don't know how would that feel about Damian Lillard. I don't know how would Damian Lillard feel, but that's not going to help at all.
Hold on, time out. Hold on, bro.
But
I was changing my daughter's paper, and I heard Sacramento, and I was like, what the hell?
no. I said I said
No,
but
bro,
De'Aaron Fox.
we're talking about Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson?
Wilson.
Oh, okay, my bad. I
think I low key messed up. I think I just said Russ.
Yeah,
I might have messed up.
Russ, yeah.
Yeah, if I just said Russ, then that's on me. Because thinking about, I might have just said Russ.
Yeah. Okay. So Russell
Wilson.
Okay, this is kind of in state for me. Pittsburgh. I think that's a good choice for Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh could be a nice choice for Russell Wilson. You do got a good offensive line. You do got a good running back. You got Keontae Johnson as a receiver. You got James Washington. You got Chase Claypool. Then you got Smith Schuster if he can just stay on the field. The New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints will be very good for him. I don't know how much you're going to trust your quarterback situation. Taysom Hill can't get the job done right now. Jameis Winston, Jameis Winston. I think he's on a 1-year deal, so I don't think they will possibly bring him back. That's again, I think the Saints should call and give him a call. Now, the New York Giants is very interesting, but if I'm Russell Wilson, I would not go to New York. You don't have an offensive line. You don't have a great coach. Defense is probably good, but you're in the same situation as you is in Cincinnati, in Seattle. You don't have a great offensive line, but you just have better receivers. You don't have a good defense at all. The defense is not good, and Jamal Adams just got hurt again. For God's sake, he just got hurt again. So again, I don't think New York should. He should hang up the phone on New York. Denver is a possibility, but the main two teams I'm going to say it's Pittsburgh and New Orleans. Definitely should get. He should take those.
I do like those. I really do, because both those teams are pretty solid teams, and both teams do need a quarterback. So with a guy like Russell Wilson, you can just plug and play him. Greg, do you agree with Coach? Is there any team that you would add into the mix, or do you think Coach got a spot on?
Yeah, Coach. Yeah, I agree with the Saints and Pittsburgh. Those would be two good places for Russell Wilson. Also, I know that Tennessee gave Tannehill all that money last offseason. But if you got a choice between Russell Wilson and Ryan Tannehill,
yeah, you taking Wilson. Wilson.
Like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it may make it easier for Wilson because you got Derrick. I know you got Derrick Henry, and you got a good offensive line. You don't got so bad of an offensive line. I understand that. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, Tennessee, that's another option right there. If the Baker Mayfield thing doesn't work in Cleveland, maybe you got two really good backs in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Denver is a possibility, but I don't want him to be in the AFC West, so we're gonna say no. And then I don't want to. No, I want to keep.
Hey, Greg, that's a very good possibility because it's a very good chance they don't have Teddy Bridgewater next year. It's a very good shot they don't have him next year.
It's a possibility, but I want somebody else to take him. I don't want Denver. San Fran would have been a good choice if they wouldn't have drafted Trey Lance. I would have said San Francisco. That would have been a good spot too. But I think the Saints, Steelers, Titans, if they wouldn't have gave that much money to Tannehill, they probably would have made a move. Cleveland, if the Baker Mayfield situation doesn't work out, Cleveland can be a good spot for Russell Wilson as well.
Yeah, I do agree with Cleveland. I think that should be a possibility. If obviously they don't have faith in Baker and all that stuff, I think I wouldn't be mad about that. Real quick, I still kind of want to touch on a couple comments. Stay away from New York. 110%. I would not. If he really wants to go to New York that bad, I would wait, see what other moves they make, specifically regarding the line, because I think the weapons they have would work, but I do think in terms
it's basically
of
the same scenario that you got in Seattle, but you got better receivers though. You got better top-notch receivers.
I will say this: I don't think you have better receivers. I just think your receiver room is deeper. Receiver room
for Seattle, basically for Seattle, and you got a top 10 receiver in DK Metcalf. So again, you don't have an offensive line. Yep.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, I would if you're gonna go to New York, I would see what they do with that line. If they do a line, you can go there. Eagles trading those picks for Wilson. I'm gonna tell you why I think no. And the only reason I think no is because if you get Russ in there, it's kind of like the opposite of Seattle, right? He has a line. He's got a better line. Now go look at the receivers. So it's like they're not in this position when they want to win now. If the Eagles were a little better and were in a win now position, 100%. But I think they still want to wait to have, a couple key guys kind of get a little older.
And I can actually touch on this because I am an Eagles fan as well. It's just, I'm a diehard Houston fan first, and I focus on Houston content first. But again, you don't got receivers, but you do got a good offensive line. You do got a good running game. You have no great defense. The defense is not even close to being good. It's not even close to good. We don't have linebackers. The secondary, I believe they compete well. But then again, hey, you don't got the receivers. Devontae Smith a couple of years away. But outside of Devontae Smith, you have really nothing. You can say Quez Watkins, but he's not involved. Rager, I think everybody's tired of him. But is you going to really give up on Jalen Hurts? I don't know that. I don't know the question. If you're going to really want to throw him in and give up on him. And I don't think we should bargain our future. Yeah, I don't think we should bargain our future. I think we just got other holes in other spots we need to attend to. So, and just give Jalen Hurts one more year. So, because each player, when you come out of the draft, you got at least 3 years to blossom and see what you're going to be. If you're not great, you're not a stud about that third year, then, hey, you might as well just get your ass shipped up out of the city. Then if you're not that good by your third year. So that's how you know that this player going to be something by their third year. They have to show something by their third year for them to be worth keeping. But the problem is I wouldn't make that move because I don't know how the organization feels about Jalen Hurts. And plus we got other holes and other needs and other spot we need to fill instead of trying to get a 33-year-old Russell Wilson in here.
And that's the thing with those draft picks, because I've said this before, this draft class, it's deep everywhere except quarterback. So you can use those draft picks to fill some of the holes you guys have. So one team I want to throw out real quick, and obviously we'll see a draft. By the way, I saw your comment. I'll put it up in a minute. But let me ask y'all this: they're kind of the same situation as Philly. Do you think at some point Miami should just get rid of Tua because they clearly don't want him, or do you think they should do a Tua trade to go get Russ? Because every single time I'm looking at it, it's almost as if they don't want Tua, so you might as well just get rid of him.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna do it sometime down the road. It's obviously he's in trade rumors. Every single time you just look up. It really depends. It really seems like the Miami Dolphins want to go in on Deshaun Watson. So if like I say, if this case, I think it may happen. This is my prediction, bold prediction. Tua may get traded in the offseason. if Deshaun Watson case is clear,
I was about to say,
Deshaun Watson case is clear,
Yep.
and all of this illegal stuff out of the way, and he's back working out in camps, I believe that's going to be the move. Tua for Watson. I believe that once he
I
gets
agree.
clear.
And 100%, I'm good with it because I think that's all Miami. Because the thing is, when Miami was right before the trade deadline, Miami was literally minutes away from getting him.
That deal was really, and it was really a done deal. Actually, it was almost really actually a done deal.
What happened was Miami then said, "Oh, by the way, is he?" Because the rumors was that Watson was going to settle. He was going to settle the lawsuit, so that way everything was going to be done. Because that's what everyone's waiting for. He was going to settle it, and then the Texans kind of was beating around the bush. And right before it went through, the Dolphins was like, by the way, he's settling, right? And then they were like, oh, yeah, he changed his mind. He's not going to settle no more. And that's what killed the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Had he settled, we would have seen it was a 3-team trade, which would have sent Tua to Washington. Washington would have sent Taylor Heineke to the Texans. And then the Texans were going to send Deshaun Watson to Miami. Now, there was obviously more moving parts and more players, but that basically was the key players in this trade. So that ended up happening. They were like, nope, it is what it is. So that's why they stopped. But Miami basically was like, look, it didn't work out. If he settles, let us know. And you and us, we can just work together and we'll give you something surrounded, built around Tua and a couple picks. You give us Deshaun and we'll be good. Let me ask y'all, but speaking of Deshaun Watson, let's say everything gets cleared, right? He's cleared, he handles his business, he's all said and done. Greg, let me start with you. Give me 3 teams that he should go, that the team should trade him to for him to be successful.
3 teams. Okay, Dolphins are 1. You know what? I'm gonna say Washington. Even though Tyler Heineke has done very, very well, I think they would jump on getting Watson if they could. So Washington and you know what, Philly.
Okay.
Philly, yeah. Let's throw Philly in there, yeah, because I don't really think they're sold on Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I don't. I think they kind of want to move on to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Watson. I think they would, throw their hat in there too. So
okay, Coach. Outside of the teams that Greg just named, give me 3 other teams that should trade for Deshaun Watson. And remember, all this is assuming that the case gets handled.
Okay. Well, that's great choices that Greg made. I don't think the organization sold on Jalen Hurts either. That's why I say I don't know. I don't know if he's the guy or not. I've been saying that all season. I don't know at all if he's the guy or not. Right. So again, Denver will be an excellent choice for Deshaun Watson because Teddy Bridgewater is only on a 1-year deal. He's on a 1-year rental, so that means he can walk after this year. He can possibly go after this year. So Denver will be a good option for him. And you also got good group of receivers over there in Cortland Sutton. You got Hamler. You got Tim Patrick. That would be a great. If he goes in the AFC West, the AFC West can be damn difficult. Every great quarterback, that would be a great quarterback division right there. And you will have the talk. Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes. Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes. Because when Watson was healthy, that's all you really heard. Who's one of the best young quarterbacks? Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes. Them two already had some great battles as well. Who had some great battles with each other as well. So again, Denver will be a great situation. Again, I want to say the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers are another great option because that's another team that was in the works with him. That was in the works with him as well, and he did say he would waive his no trade clause to go to Miami or Carolina So that means Carolina will probably be the other option. That will be the other option in case in case Miami won't work. So again, and I think I'm gonna go again. The New Orleans Saints. I think the New Orleans Saints. Same thing about Russell Wilson. Hey, you get a younger, transcendent superstar in Deshaun Watson. You get more younger with those receivers, a 23, 24-year-old Deshaun Watson, a transcendent superstar who comes in immediately and makes your team a Super Bowl caliber team with that defense right there. You got getting a quarterback like Deshaun Watson that can break down plays, and that's a dominant playmaker in this league and a top 4 quarterback when he's on that field with that defense that New Orleans got. Yeah, Deshaun Watson can definitely make that team better.
I do like the some of the stuff the teams are picking. One person said the Browns, which I wouldn't be mad at. Again, I do like Baker Mayfield. I think he's solid. But if you could upgrade and get somebody better, I'm not mad at that at all. The Saints, obviously, that's a great choice. If Watson, Rodgers, or Russell go to Denver, then every team in the NFC will have a top 12 QB in the league, and it'll be tough for me. I'm gonna sound crazy when I say this. I think Deshaun Watson should consider staying. I think he should, at the bare minimum.
I will be happy if he does stay. I would be. I swear that'll be a lifesaver. That'll be a lifesaver if he does stay.
I believe he should consider it. And the reason I say this is what I would do if I'm Deshaun. I go to the front office and I say, this is what I want. I want these 7 things. If you can get me 4 of these, I'll stay. Go out, get him a number. If he says, get me a better line. Yeah, I got so much about hell no, he shouldn't stay. And I understand why people are saying that, right? But he's just tired of the losing, right? Yeah. If he goes and says, give me this, and they give it to him, I mean, that'll be enticing. That should be enticing.
One more thing, Pride. I want to say, I don't think it's actually just the losing. I just think the way Bill O'Brien fucked over the team and messed over the team, and he saw he wasn't going to be successful. He saw it wasn't going to be good. It's just the way Bill O'Brien messed up this team. So, and Deshaun Watson only lost 1 year, and that was his last year. That was his only losing season. His rookie year, this guy was in the MVP voting. His rookie season, 21 touchdowns, 8 interceptions before he got hurt. Because we put 65, we put 56 points on Tennessee. We were 3-3. We were playing the Indianapolis Colts. He tore his ACL at practice. So after that, we didn't win another football game. The next 2 years, we went to the playoffs and we beat Buffalo Bills to get to the second round. And then everybody know what happened to the Kansas City Chiefs.
You guys were up.
Yeah, we was up 21-0. Lost the game because, again, they started off with short fields, nothing but the whole game because what Carter decides to fumble the ball for the first time in his life in Houston, which gave the Kansas City Chiefs a short field. Then he decided to kick it to one of the best kickoff return man in the NFL. That was another short field. And then they started with 3 short fields back to back. So again, the defense couldn't hold up off those short fields. So again, then you come back, you trade DeAndre Hopkins, who Bill O'Brien didn't have a great relationship with, where you could have just made it work. And then again, you out Larry Tunsil for all of those picks. You trade away your draft capital for Larry Tunsil. Larry Tunsil on that offense for offensive lineman. Not even a skilled position player. Like I don't think it's so much what the losing, but the losing did get to him a little bit his last year. But he put up 33-7.
Yep.
And still was losing with the 29th ranked defense. So I agree with you a little bit on that. But I just had to. I agree with you on the losing, but I just had to throw the front off.
And you're right. And the thing is,
and Bill O'Brien messed over the Smith.
Dre said this same team that who traded D Hop for some IHOP. You got to remember that also was Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, that also was Bill O'Brien.
So that's what I'm saying. Now that Bill O'Brien is gone,
I just had to throw that statement in there.
Yeah, you had that opportunity to sit down with Deshaun and say, "Look, man, he made some bad choices, right? However, let's not act like it's all lost. If there's one receiver that's going to be available next year, and imagine if he can go from Aaron Rodgers to Deshaun Watson. Keep that in mind. Getting you a number one is not as far-fetched as people think, because Devontae's not going to stay without Aaron. He's not. So from that,
he hasn't got paid. When he asked to get paid, he didn't get paid. They didn't pay him.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying I believe the Houston Texans still have a chance. Deshaun needs to go up to him and say, "This is what I want." And if they make the efforts, I think Deshaun will go, "You know what? At least they're trying. They're not doing the same dumb shit they did last time." So he's willing to do with that. Another team I would be considering, the Giants. I would consider the Giants because, I mean, I understand for Russ, I said no because the whole line thing, but we also got to remember, Deshaun just wants to play, right? So if he goes to the if he goes to the Giants, and you know what?
He played around. We was a bad offensive line.
I wouldn't be surprised about this one. I would not be surprised about this one. Deshaun Watson going to Green Bay. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to tell you this right now. If Devontae Adams signs a 2-year deal and Aaron Rodgers leaves, they're getting a quarterback. They got some sort of unspoken deal. And I could see this happening. I could see a trade revolving around Jordan Love. Maybe give Marquez, either Aaron Lazard or Valdez Scantling a couple picks. I think that would work. I wouldn't be mad. Another team that I think should consider this, and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna sound wild, but another team that should just probe it. I'm not saying they should go full out and do it, but one team I genuinely believe we should probe the situation, keep an eye on it, see what's gonna happen. The San Francisco 49ers. I know the Niners are all in with either Russ or Aaron Rodgers. But if I'm them, I probe the situation. I see how it's going. Some 49ers fans believe in Trey Lance. Don't know why, but if you can somehow flip Jimmy G and picks for Deshaun Watson, this team is back in Super Bowl contention.
Hey, it wouldn't be a bad idea if you flip Trey Lance too for Watson.
Yeah. I would
flip him, actually. Jimmy G is going to be gone. You can flip him for Watson. Just flip him.
So, that's what I'm saying. So, but, obviously Deshaun Watson, he's a commodity. So, no matter where he goes, everyone's going to want him. Literally, no matter where he goes. This has been another episode of ASAP in the Morning. It's been your boy Pride. Greg, thank you for being here. You too, Coach. Trey, appreciate you being here. Same with you, sis. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back here tomorrow morning on time. I promise we'll be on time. This really was my fault. Had a rough night, but it is what it is. We'll be back here, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 Central, to talk more sports and to piss off the masses. I feel like that's my job. My job is to get somebody tight. It's your boy Pride on behalf of Greg, Coach, Trey, and Sis. We'll see y'all on the next one. Be safe.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.